Hey, welcome back to the Crash Space. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's December 28th, 2025. Happy holidays, y'all. This is a bit of a surprise stream for myself included. I popped out a bit for the holidays. Hopefully yours has been well. And normally when we come back, we were considering coming back on a Sunday, but coming in pretty late, returning from seeing family. But we actually left really early this morning, so we came in this afternoon. And so we've been around since like 2 this afternoon, catching up on all the stuff we have to do. So it looks like this evening we have some time to hang out and play some Marvel Champions, which is great. I look forward to it on the Sunday night. I would have done this on my own, so why not just turn all the lights on at once and broadcast this out. Hopefully y'all are doing well. I think maybe this is unfortunate. Earlier today, I put out a video. It's been scheduled for a bit. Unfortunate, there is a play mistake in it. I'm trying to get a perfect video, still can't nail it. But we uploaded a Tigra Justice gameplay that I recorded 2 weeks ago on the day that the 1.7 new update came out. And that's edited and uploaded. So you can watch that. If you want to watch more Marvel Champions content, that has been uploaded on this channel about, I want to say, like, what is it now? Less than 12 hours ago. So maybe that's really bad for the algorithm. We'll find out together. But if you want to watch that, I should try and link it in the description. Otherwise, you'll find it here. Otherwise, how's everyone doing? Hopefully your holidays has been well. I didn't take any Marvel Champions stuff with me off going to see friends and family. Normally I do. I bring some stuff, but I actually played a fair bit of solo Marvel Champions just digitally. I have recently rebooted up Dragon Cards. If you're not familiar with Dragon Cards, it's this online web portal in which you can play a whole bunch of different card games, including Marvel Champions. And while it does have some automation, I almost use none of the automation. I just do everything by hand, and it works really nice. There's hotkeys, there's buttons to get everything done. It has all the cards. Some of the setups are a bit more tedious than others, but it's a really good implementation, and it's entirely free to try out. And I played a whole bunch of solo stuff. I just played through 2 campaigns. I played a couple standalone games. I actually played a fair bit, just in the afternoons where I had some time to do it. And because online, digitally, it like happens a lot faster from my experience. But I played through a couple campaigns because hopefully this year, and a bit of a spoiler, it's not going to happen. I was trying to play through a campaign with every single character. We've got through way more than half. And so this last break, I got to play Rocket Raccoon, who we're going to be talking about today, because I think Rocket Raccoon is fascinating when it comes to the design of a Marvel Champions hero. But I also had the time to play through a campaign of, what's her name, Scarlet Witch, which is one of the characters that I had only played like 5 or 6 games with to date. She's one of my least played characters because my partner played her and when we played a campaign mode. So I felt like I saw all her cards and saw her thing and had a lot of fun. So we did Scarlet Witch through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Shout out to Baron Zemo, who I think I really didn't care about. I actually ended up playing Baron Zemo like 3 times in a row just to feel like how he feels outside of campaign mode. I feel like I have a better understanding of how he works, and I think he's a bit cooler than I did back then. But I also played Rocket Raccoon through all of the, what's it called? Rise of the Red Skull, the first campaign box, playing in campaign mode, and I had a great time. As much as I think there's big issues with Rocket Raccoon that are very unique to Rocket, and I think certain scenarios or certain campaigns might be less kind to him. So give me 1 second. I just want to make sure everything is right. And as I expected, YouTube chat is not updating, but I give it a refresh and there we are. Andy, how's it going? Hey, how are your holidays? Good to see you. Good to see you too. The holidays were great. I cannot ask for better. Hanging out with family and some friends for the last week or so. We just got back into the city. I live in Montreal just earlier this afternoon. Normally come in the evening, but we came in the afternoon. So we were able to do a stream today as much as we uploaded the video. How are you doing? How are your holidays? Hopefully y'all are well. Okay, it's been a bit. It's been about a week, maybe more, since I've played in paper Marvel Champions. So we're gonna give this a shot. And today I'm going to talk to you about this Rocket Raccoon deck that I've built and I've tested a bit. I tried a bunch of different iterations. I got some inspiration from online for Marvel CDB, as you can and you should do. And this is a deck that I've been putting off playing for a while because Rocket Raccoon is one of those characters that gets just more interesting the more cards you get with a certain trait. It's a sort of deck that I'm very excited to revisit every 6 months, every year after new player cards come out because Rocket Raccoon really cares about certain traits. And we got some really nice cards that work really well with Rocket, let alone this is a protection deck, and jumping down to alter ego playing solo protection has never been easier, and Rocket Raccoon is definitely one of those characters that appreciates jumping down to alter ego, and so we can do it a fair bit. Which preparation we're playing. Yo, Jello, how's it going? I'm glad I didn't decide to go live with Marvel Champions today. Oh, no way. I had no idea you're streaming. Hold on. I gotta give a follow or subscribe to that. How's your holidays been? Good to see you. Mine were a very welcome return to normalcy. The last few years have been rough around this time of year, so it's very refreshing to see my family in a normal capacity again. That's really good to hear. It's sometimes a really rough part of the year for many folks, you know. It's dark, it's cold. Sometimes you don't have the, you know, the ability to go see friends and family. Hopefully it's good to hear it's a lot better. Let's say that. That's really nice to hear. Hopefully it's been great, Andy. All right. Let's talk about this deck. So the name of the stream is The Rat Who Tinkers, I believe. Why that is? So in French, the word for I'm just gonna move this out of frame. The way that you call a raccoon is raton laveur, which literally translates to the rat who washes. If you've seen raccoons do their thing, shout out to Ontario, Toronto, the land of raccoons. Montreal is a bit different, but raccoons wash things with their hands. I'm understanding from many cultures, the name for the raccoon translates directly to what they do with their hands. So this is now raton bricoleur, the rat who tinkers, because we're playing, of course, tech traded raccoon. I'm being good. Are your mic is giving some weird feedback noises like popping static? That's good to know. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to shut my mic off and turn it back on. That usually works. I appreciate that. 1 second. What's the chance this is better? I can't hear anything. I have no monitoring, so let me know if it's better. I've been good. I've done 3 holiday parties in a row, so I'm recouping. Yo, that's maybe a bit much. I've grown up where most of my family lives across the ocean. Oh, much better. Okay, good to hear. Thank you. That's a huge shout out. I really appreciate that. Yeah, my family's always been relatively small, so there's a lot of these sort of like, you know, be in a situation with a lot of people related to you and that stress that comes with it that I'm not familiar with. I know some people love it. Hopefully it's been okay. Take your rest time. Tuned in on French Andre and thought we were in crash spacing in French. No, I want le crash space. Salut Ren. Ça va? How's it going? How are you doing? Happy holidays. Hopefully it's been good. This is, yeah, Rocket Raccoon. So, Raton Laveur, 2-1-1 stat line, 9 health is pretty bad. It's not very good. However, we have 2 cards in our deck that not only can give us more health, 1 card that give us more health, but we can give ourselves more stats. Now, I think I've had some really bad numbers. I've checked my stats on the Rocket Raccoon games I played, and Rocket numbers are really quite not good. I think a lot of that is I played aggression. My guess is the precon that Rocket Raccoon came along with, alongside Groot, who is also a bit of a maligned hero for many clumsy design reasons, I think. Rocket Raccoon wanted to play aggression. And I honestly think it's in some ways kind of necessary, but in some ways also really, really clumsy. Well, Rocket's text, murdered you, says response after you deal excess damage to an enemy, draw a card. That's a really good text. That's a really, really quite strong text. However, Rocket's kit has no big burst damage. This is the weirdest thing about Rocket, and I think there's only a couple characters in all of Marvel Champions like this. Marvel Champions, when you're playing Marvel Champions, we're going to go into card game lingo. There's always some tempo plays you have to make. There's some value plays you have to make. When there is an ally, or sorry, a minion that enters play that has 5 health, 6 health, heaven forbid, and you need to get rid of it now, a lot of hero kits have cards that allow you to solve problems now. Oh, there's 4 threat on a side scheme today. Oh, there's a big minion today with toughness. A lot of kits have cards, single cards, that can do that now. We've been playing a lot of 3 for 8s. Heck, we've been playing only Tiger content on this channel, where you have, you know, the 2 for 8, like very, very good, very big damage. Rocket Raccoon's deck is so weird because there's nothing that is on tempo now, barring maybe 1 card. Like everything is a long-term value proposition, which I think makes it really good to play aggression because then you have access for like really punchy on-tempo cards. Like you can play a 2 for 5 attack. That's fine for Rocket, a 3 for 8 attack. Because Rocket Raccoon does not have an ability to deal with the board on turn 1, sometimes even turn 2. It's really strange. Just pay in mind while we go through Rocket Raccoon's deck, there are no massive tempo cards. And that is weird. It's really weird playing Rocket. You have to go out of your way with your aspect deck building to make sure that you don't find yourself in situations where all you have is a pistol that shoots for 2 and 1 attack stat, right? Like very, very strange. Rocket requires he requires his equipment, except his equipment isn't very punchy. It requires setup. It requires time to pay off to get to the value numbers you want. It's really, really odd. So do just keep that in mind. L'espace de collision. I mean, I think that's right. I've been cozy holidays with the partner, played the demo decks for Hub World Light a lot and had a good time. Yeah, what do you think of that? I've only played one demo game, and it was on TTS with Pat, and I had mixed feelings, but I know Pat has the physical demo copy, so we haven't gone to it. I haven't been following that game. I'm assuming it should come out this year. I'm hoping. I'm guessing. The other side, Rocket's actually kind of cool. It's really quite cool, if you ask me. And this is, again, the reason why now in 2025, let alone 2026, in protection, solo protection, you have so many easier ways to jump down to alter ego. If you know, you know. And tinkering is a really good ability. It's an action once per round. Choose and discard a tech upgrade you control to draw 2 cards. Recovery, mind you, is 3, hit points 6, or sorry, hand 6, hand size 5. That's good. A weird thing about Rocket Raccoon is a lot of Rocket Raccoon's tech upgrades don't use the word uses. They just come in with counters. Any card that inherently has uses on it, when it's out of its uses, when it's emptied of its counters, you're forced to discard it, not Rocket Raccoon. So you'll end up with all of these empty batteries, empty guns, and you can just sell them. And mind you, this doesn't have to be Rocket Raccoon cards. We're playing Protection. Protection has the biggest card pool of tech cards. So even a 0 cost card we can drop on turn 1. In theory, we can tinker it and make 1 card into 2 cards. It's a thing you can do. It's not always the perfect play to make, but this is why jumping down to alter ego is so good, because you end up going up +3 hand size, +1 for being an alter ego when you draw up, and then +2, sometimes +2 more when you discard a card, end your turn, next turn discard a card. It's really, really quite nice. And of course, we're gonna be jumping down to alter ego. This is a really fun ability. And again, protection has become my favorite faction or aspect to jump down to alter ego. I really struggle with Rocket. Andy, you and me too, says the numbers. I think I've only tried him a few times and bounced off. MC is my real first card game, and I played him early on. I feel like he needs a revisit. If Marvel Champions, if Fantasy Flight Games re-released Rocket Raccoon in this day and age, there is no doubt a lot of his cards would be different. And again, it's an earlier design. I think it's an ambitious design because there's not a lot of cards or not a lot of IDs like this. But I do think the big thing is that he cannot impact the board really impactfully now immediately. And that actually makes it a struggle. If you draw bad, you're in a bad spot. I need to revisit him. Yeah. Me too. I really enjoyed revisiting him, especially seeing what the game has become to see what he was back in the day. Stoked to see they printed Rocket and presumably Groot. The big box only included Star-Lord and someone else. No. So Ren, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. The big box that these guys came in was Rocket and Groot together. And then Star-Lord came later alongside a whole bunch of Guardians, let alone some Guardians I didn't know. Okay, cool. Let's talk about weapons. So this is what I mean. Rocket's pistol. I have caps lock on Rocket's pistol. So you have 2 of these. They cost 1. They're restricted, so they take a slot. Mind you, your deck has like 4 restricted guns. You don't always have them all in the same time because you do want to sell your cards. So emptying the gun is fine. Notice how it comes in with charges. It doesn't use uses. That actually is a big reason, and it impacts Rocket heavily. So hero action exhausts this to do 2 damage to an enemy. It's an attack, so stun does beat it. You do have to pay the counter, but you don't do the damage. Notably, 2 damage is fine. Like, this card is technically 1 for 6, which is really good. Like, in terms of Marvel Champions, 1 for 6 is great. However, it is 1 for 6 over 3 turns. And this is what I mean. Rocket Raccoon doesn't have tempo, has value, and that can be a struggle. Really, really weird. Notably, 2 is also like an awkward breakpoint. If something has 1 health, you want to hit it on 2 and then draw with Rocket. But again, the bigger the numbers of damage would be on the cards, the more easy it is to fire Rocket. And 2 is like almost not there, especially when he only has 1 attack stat, which you can make 2 attack stat. It's hard to do overkill when you're attacking for 1 or 2. 2 is obviously the minimum you need. These pistols are good. 1 for 6 is good, but again, they do not last forever. You have to, like, you know, get rid of them eventually. Next up is the rocket launcher. This one is overcosted for what it is. I think this card is just really, really expensive and not that great. Comes in with 2 charges. It's free. 3 is really expensive in this game. And you exhaust this, remove a charge, choose a player. This is not an attack. Deal 2 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with that player. So this is usually when you're playing solo, 4 damage twice. So 3 for 8 over 2 turns is actually not amazing. Generally, you can get 3 for 8 now. It is AoE though. That's kind of valuable. It's not attack traded, so it beats guard, which is kind of valuable. Against a multiplayer, you can choose another player. That's kind of cool. So there's some interesting interactions with this, but it still feels kind of underwhelming. And the reason is it's because its value is spread over time. Mind you, there's ways to recharge this, and that's actually a very valuable part of this kit that makes these guns more and more valuable. But for an AoE attack in the game, this one's not bad. It's just also it's not the most exciting. This is the one I think I like the most. It's particle cannon. And that's because it fires rockets text beautifully. Notably, none of these attacks have any sort of traits. They don't have ranged, which is kind of silly because they're all gun attacks as much as maybe the pistol. And shout out to the art on some of the rocket cards are very, very weird. But particle cannon is 2 charges to deal 4 damage, attack traded, and with overkill. And that's exactly what you want. You want to do overkill damage. So this is the big hitter. This is technically 3 for 8, which is kind of what you'd expect. And if you can reload it, that's a bit better. But this is 3 for 8 over multiple turns with ability to reload. Again, we're not about tempo, we're about a value, and that sometimes can be a problem. Hey, Lucy, it's been good. Christmas was good. We just got back into the city, returning from family, but it was quite nice. There was, how many of us are together in one house? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 of us, I think, for Christmas. So it's cozy. 3 cats. It's nice. The political discourse between the cats. There's much to talk about. How was your holidays? Rocket Launcher tends to be better in multiplayer, and Rocket seems to love air cover and aggression. Don't know what aspect you're presenting. Oh, I'm playing protection. Yeah, air cover I haven't really considered. I don't even know. Is it a tech card? Tactics are kind of cool. I think the aggression tactics, like the healing one's okay. I think air cover is such a, oh, it is tech traded. That's nice. I really do like air cover. I think air cover is such a better card than I think it is. I'm probably misremembering. I got wrecked like twice by the big box and put it away. The big box, Ren, is the hardest big box they've ever put out. I do think Guardians of the Galaxy is by far the most difficult box, even on standard. It's the second box they put out, and the feedback from the first box, not that I played back then, was that it was too easy. So I think they really amped it up and made it kind of Lord of the Rings LCG difficult, where you have to like really tune your deck against things, and it's not particularly fair. All right, how's it going? Hey, happy holidays. It was good. Demos could only go so deep, but it did a good job at showing a solid foundation. I think it'd be really good. That's what I got out of it too, is like, I want to see what constructed decks look like, because this just seems like they're presenting all the information or all the ideas at once. And it's not really focused. Battery pack. Okay, well, I can't find this, so I apparently spelled the name wrong. I spelled it. No, I spelled it correctly. You have 2 of these. I can't tell you what is Rocket's worst. Oh, no, this is not Rocket's worst card. Excuse me. I thought this was something else. This is battery pack. It is a 1-cost tech upgrade item. We have 2 of these. It comes in with 2 counters, and you can exhaust this to move a charge counter from a card to another tech upgrade you control. Now, I'll be honest, 90% of the time I'm moving this to reload my guns. You can use this on any tech card that uses or technically doesn't use counters for some reason, but you want to put it on things that use counters, that's for sure. This is a really nice card, and once it's empty, it doesn't discard itself, so when you jump down to Alter Ego, you can tinker this, let alone we're playing Repurpose. This card is actually quite nice because it empties itself really fast. It reminds me actually really closely to Air Cover, and if Air Cover is going well, it empties itself in basically 1 turn, and this can easily, it almost always empties itself in 1 turn. You play it, you use it, next turn you use it, and then you immediately remove it. This card I actually like a lot, and it makes your guns not better faster because they exhaust to fire, but just give you more value over time. Battery pack is really cool. Now, this is the one I don't care for. This is a card that I think they would have printed totally differently if it was modern, if they printed this modernly. This is a value proposition against a deck that I think already has so much value. Wait, that's not actually probably correct. I think this is meant to be the tempo card in Rocket, but it just doesn't line up ever that well. As a 1-cost hero event, as a hero action, you can ready each tech upgrade you control. That means all your guns, you can fire them again because they exhaust when they fire. I don't think that that's that good because normally you're out of bullets. You have no other tech cards in your deck that you want to unexhaust. It's only your guns and your battery pack. But emptying your battery pack out faster is not like a thing that you're really worried about doing. This is a card that I've gone a whole campaign without playing. Now, that being said, if there's something that shows up that needs to take 8 damage suddenly, yeah, shooting your 4 damage cannon, readying and shooting again, I guess that's okay. But paying 1 for that privilege doesn't seem great. This card, I think, needs a kicker, like draw a card, you get +1 damage for every attack. Like, this card just feels so underwhelming that it just needs slightly more text to feel good firing it. Because compared to other cards you have in your hand, this never felt great to me, either because your bullets are empty, because you don't need to do this, your guns are empty, excuse me. I don't know, I don't like it. This one's not for me. My Metamore loved Marvel Champions, and we spent a lot on the past week playing it. I've been playing Captain Marvel, Leadership, and Protection Spider-Man. That's sick. We've done and beaten Standard Rhino, Expert Rhino, Standard Claw, Expert Claw, and Standard Ultron. We also proxied up Standard 3 after losing our first game against Expert Claw after I got Yawn Rogged on the first encounter card. Yo, you gotta draw, it's gonna happen to everyone where you draw Shadows of the Past on turn 1. Sometimes you just mulligan the whole game, but it does make an interesting challenge. Like, I don't remember how bad Yawn Rog is, but I'm glad that's landing really well. That's the core box, as you might be able to tell in Marvel Champions, is actually really quite good in terms of the villain design, in terms of the player cards. Some of them, like, are just underpowered. I think there's still some overpowered cards. That's kind of how core sets go, but damn, that's great. Leadership Carol Danvers is also a hell of a drug, ripping through 60% of my deck every single turn, playing Nick Fury almost every turn. Yeah. You play Nick Fury, Maria Hill, make the call. It's really quite good. Carol also feels so much better in multiplayer. We have choices. Comparing Rocket and Venom, same wave, is a rough time. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And like the sort of like tinkering, bricolage aspect of Rocket, it does not feel like it has a big enough or easy enough payoff compared to like as simple as the reload card is for, for Venom. Venom has a reload card, it just readies everything, right? I don't know, it's so much better than this thing. Now these cards are good. They're tech traded, which means you can get rid of them, but you try not to because they're generally pretty good. If you get rid of this, you can flatline yourself, which is kind of funny. But for 2 cost, you get +3 hit points and +1 attack. That's good. You want your attack to get up because you care about overkill, so 2 attack is fine. It's kind of silly that Rocket Raccoon does not have a higher attack strength, considering he cares about overkill, but it is cool that you have to kind of reach the overkill through your upgrades. This makes you a 12 hit point hero, which is like where you want to be, really, particularly comfortably in solo, so that card is quite good. Thrust boosters, it has a thing that you can play around. Thruster boots, excuse me. Shout out to the footwear slot. When in hero form, Rocket Raccoon gets +1 thwart. 3 thwart's a really good breakpoint when you play solo, and gains the aerial trait, which we do not care about at all, but that's fine. These are also cards that are the closest we have to a value play, a tempo play, but they're kind of clumsy too. Like there's no card in the game like this, and I think I'm okay with that because this is just such a weird timing for a card. It says after you make a basic thwart, and it has to be a basic thwart, using your thwart, ready Rocket Raccoon, and then Rocket Raccoon gets +1 thwart while in hero form until the end of the phase. So that's just really ugly because oftentimes you want to get that +1 thwart to break a side scheme. So you end up thwarting for 2 or 3, then you ready, and then you can thwart for 3 or 4. Which a 1 cost thwart for 3 or 4 on the run back is like okay, but at the end of the day, the problem is that this card is so conditional. Like it only works if you want to thwart twice. It doesn't work if you need to attack first because then you're exhausted. It's just like such a hella clumsy card. I don't know exactly why the theming is like this. Like the Rocket finds, solves one problem, discovers an idea, solves another problem. Like that's kind of cool. But this card is just way more clumsy than it looks. On the games where there's a lot of side schemes, it is really quite good. Shout out to like Red Skull. This card's awesome. But it is just like way more clumsy than it looks. Then we have Schadenfreude. Great card. 2 cost card, very unique card, nothing like this in the game. Until the end of the turn, heal 2 damage from Rocket Raccoon each time you deal any amount of damage to an enemy. There's so many nice ways to fire this incidentally, right? Like all your pistols shoot for 2, those are different instances. If you have retaliate-esque damage of energy barrier, that's 2 healing. This is until the end of the turn though, not the phase, or sorry, the round. So this only happens during the hero phase if I'm not mistaken. But it's nice. You'll generally go low health, play a Schadenfreude, shoot, and then you're up 6 health, which is like, okay. This card's expensive, but in terms of like hero healing where you don't have to jump down, this was very, very unique at the time. I think it's now a bit easier to jump down if you want to. I'm sad it doesn't really have a campaign, but the games we've been playing have been really fun. Thanks for putting me onto it. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. Yeah, so the campaign like comes and goes in different boxes. You can just play everything in order and call it a campaign. If you ever pick up Rise of Red Skull, it has like the first campaign, and it's okay. And then other boxes have different qualities of campaigns. Some of them I would not recommend for campaign mode, but yeah, I just love playing this game in campaign mode. I think the only hero that felt kind of boring was Black Panther, but the rest of the core was kind of great. Yeah, Black Panther is easily the most boring. Best part is there's no Devour Below syndrome. Don't play the last one. Salvage. This card's fine. I honestly thought this card would be more impactful than it is. It is a response. It's 2 resources. So our deck has 5. We are playing 5 resource cards. It has double. It's mental and wild. And it says after you spend this card, put a tech upgrade from your discard pile on top of your deck. That's okay. So you want to trash your tech cards, then put them back top of your deck. We don't have a lot of incidental draw, so it's not like we can draw or interact with the top of our deck, unless we're an alter ego, and then we can trash something to draw the card we just salvaged back. That's kind of cute. But a lot of our big plays, or a lot of our ongoing value comes from our guns and from our battery packs, so we do just want to play them multiple times per cycle if we can. It's really cool too. You can mulligan aggressively. You can throw out your tech cards. You can pitch a tech card that you don't want to play this turn. Then you salvage to put that on top of your deck and think, okay, next turn I'll be drawing my rocket launcher, where 3 cost is a bit expensive now, so you can plan for the future. It's kind of neat. It's not as splashy or as flashy as you'd want it to be, but it's a bit of a workhorse card. Something that's also very notable is our deck cares about 2 different kinds of resources, and they're the resources that we're mid at generating. Firstly, we have cards that care about generating physical resources, and our deck has almost no physical resources. And the big thing you'll find out really quickly is that if you play tech or protection, and even Rocket Raccoon's deck, it's almost all energy resources. So it's hard to generate different kinds of resources. It's wild that this is mental, but like most of Rocket's deck, I think is, mental, and there's almost no physical in it, which kind of sucks because we have cards that specifically care about physical. There's like 2 physical resources. resources. So at least there's a wild on salvage. Murder Do You draws cards? Yeah, it does. But no, you're right. Murder Do You does draw cards. I just don't feel like you want to draw the tech halfway through the murdered. Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's true. The set he's most interested in getting is Sinister, but that's like 200 pounds on eBay because of FFG deciding not to move to a prod for old stock. I wouldn't be super critical about FFG on that. Like, I do think licensing is a big part of that, you know? But yeah, if you can find that cheaply, and if I can find that locally cheaply, I'll let you know, because that's a really good box. But yeah, it is out of print. All right, let's talk about aspect cards. Nothing is better than Energy Barrier. Unfortunately, like, we run into the camp that we're already in, where we were playing cards that don't give you value now, they give you value over time. And I do think you have to watch out for that, because most of our deck does do that, and sometimes you just need something to do now. And Energy Barrier is definitely not something to do now. It is 3 counters. It's tech traded. It does destroy itself when you use the last counter. However, this interrupt is optional. So if there's one last counter on it, you can keep the counter. Otherwise, it protects yourself from damage and redirects it. And it does not have to redirect the damage to what hits you, so you can knock out minions. You can do whatever you want with it, take toughness off. Now, this is the card that I wanted to play 1 of it, then I played 2 of it. This is the first time I'm playing 3 of it in a deck. I think people were really bullish about this card when it came out. Firstly, it's a 0-cost tech card, which means you can drop it and just immediately sell it to Rocket Raccoon and go up plus a card, or technically plus 2 cards, but you did pay a card for it. It's also really cheap to play, which is nice. And having tech cards on the table, we have some synergy with it. But the cool thing with our deck is we have a lot of energy resources, and we can attach this to any character. In theory, you can attach it to yourself and then have a don't die button. But I'm not a big fan of spending 1 card to dodge 1 damage. Like, that's not a good trade. Where this is a better trade is when you attach it to allies, because with allies, you can dodge consequential. So now you're paying 1 resource for like 2 damage and maybe a card draw, something like that. So when I played this deck through the whole campaign, I never attached this to an ally. Today, I'm going to play the 3rd copy, which originally was a stun gun, which also underperformed, but it was a new card worth trying. And I'll try attaching this to allies, because we have some allies that are actually worth keeping around. But just having a 0-cost tech card is worth something. Especially because this is the one card we have in our deck that really does something now, which again, as I said many times, the deck really needs. Repurpose, so good. That's why there's so many tech cards in protection. Discard a tech upgrade you control. It can be a rocket card, and sometimes you just have empty guns if you're waiting for your battery, let alone an empty battery. Ready your hero, and you get plus stats, your choice. Choose thwart, attack, or defense. Your stat of that kind goes up for the entire round. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's really quite nice. So the idea is that your energy barrier, you can attack for 2, destroy your energy barrier, attack for 4. That's good. You can thwart for 5 on turns. Very, very flexible. And even just trashing sometimes a 0-cost or 1-cost tech card is good enough, because sometimes all you need is a ready. Sometimes all you need to thwart for 3, attack for 2, get some overkill. It's really, really quite good. Ready for a fight? No surprise here. It's the best protection card that came out this year. Shout out to everyone doing their end of the year recap lists. I probably should get to doing one of those. But the only issue, and it's actually a really big issue with this deck I'm finding, is that we have like no physical resources. This thing's a nightmare to play. And I do think we should change something with our deck to make that not a problem. Like, I'm getting to the point where maybe we can play enhanced physique in the deck, just because having physical resources actually is a pain. We have no wild generators, because we can't play anything that generates a wild resource in what's it called, Guardians. They don't have a Quinn carrier or an X-Jet or anything like this. But Ready for a Fight is just so good, because it means you can jump down, it means you can sell things, you just do alter ego stuff. Really, really quite good. Does the wild count as a physical? It does. So unless the card says you're looking for a printed mental resource, which none of our cards do, like notice this says requirement physical, whenever you're spending a wild resource, at the time that you spend it, you can choose what resource it is. There is a small subset of cards that say the word printed and then name a typed resource. You cannot use wild for that because it's not printed. But 95% of the time, a wild will work for whatever you want it to work for. Notably too, for Ready for a Fight, if you want, it requires a physical resource when you play it. If you have something like Helicarrier, which reduces the cost, you can't play it because you did not pay a physical for it, even if it does cost 0. So that's another thing that we can't really do. Shout out to non-Avengers X-Men who need enhanced physique. I don't want to play enhanced physique, but we're like kind of getting there, I'll be honest. I love Energy Shield and so many allies. Spider-Woman loves playing it on her Captain Marvel ally who draws you a card every time you activate. I'm still not sold on it. Like, it still feels so bad to like spend a card to just draw a card when, like, I like blocking with my allies. Like, I like getting them out of the game so I can replay them on cycles. I'm going to try not doing that today. So we're going to learn something different. Practice plan, card's good. We're only running 1. I'm still struggling to figure out what is the right optimal collection of how many Ready for Fights you want to play, which are functionally unique in solo, and Practice Plan, which is not unique. This card We only have one preparation. It's easy to play, but I'll return the preparation to our hand. It's good. Hidden Base, new card, really nice. Another good reason, again, to play Ready for a Fight is when we jump down to Alter Ego, we can get a Toughness. We're relatively fragile. Very notably, Toughness will go off before things like Energy Barrier because, what are they called? Status tokens have priority over Forced Interrupts, which have priority over Interrupts. So Status Token Tough goes off first, then Energy Barrier will go off then. So you can't protect it, which is a bit ugly. But Hidden Base is great. Hey, speaking of tech, we don't have the shield kicker, but Leo Fitz is fine. A 3-cost resource generator is a bit expensive, but in Alter Ego, we can search our deck for a tech card. And if we get a 0-cost tech card, technically we can draw 2 cards from it. Like, it's fine. It's neat. Leo's great. And then Gemma's a bit more flexible because she doesn't care what side you're on. We, in theory, just get a mental generator for 3. As long as we're playing tech cards, and we have a lot of tech cards, so it's usually usable every turn. Shout out to typed-based resource cards. I wish we had so many more type-based cards in this game. As much as it like pigeonholes some sort of design, we can only play this in Alter Ego where we're a genius. As soon as we don our suit and our gun, we're dumb. But yeah, this generates a mental resource for whatever we want. And we can jump down to Alter Ego a bit more easily, that's for sure. Fitzsimmons, my beloved, a really fun package. A side holster, we need this. We have 4 restricted guns in our deck. We usually want at least 2 on the table. 3 is not rare, so we get an extra weapon slot. Great. Pretty good. +1 energy shield. I remember loving Protection Cap using it. She gets stats for using cards, so I think this is especially better for Spider-Woman. Oh, for playing it, yeah. 0-cost cards are really good in Spider-Woman anyways, on the turn that you play the energy shield. Speaking of playing cheap cards, Spider-Bite. Really great. Good card. We probably play nothing for her because her cost is reduced. She usually thwarts for 2 and then takes a block, or she thwarts for 4. Sometimes she takes a toughness off. Spider-Bite's great. Gamora. Man, I love this card. I keep forgetting Gamora works all the time. I always think Gamora is like when enters play trigger, and then I realize it's Gamora anytime she does a attack or thwart. You discard cards until you get an event. Now, our events, some of them aren't good. Like our deck is like 20 upgrades. It's only, I want to say 8 events. So it usually gets you something. Repurpose is usually your best, like, ooh, cool, tempo draw. But Gamora is one of the cards that I do think it's worth putting Energy Shield on her and keeping her around forever. Because every turn, functionally getting 2 attack and then a draw. And the cool thing is if she discards your tech upgrades, you can scavenge them back using your resource and put them on the top of your deck and then draw them next turn. Gamora is great, really worth keeping around. Same with Groot, who's really worth keeping around. Groot, after taking an attack, heals 2. So you always know exactly how much damage you have to dump into the energy shield to keep Groot alive. I like Groot a lot. I wish there was more allies that were good at blocking Groot's the GOAT. Prof X, because we want to jump to Alter Ego, Confuse, Stun, all very valuable. And then we're playing 3 basics. This deck is kind of fun. It's really nice. Very flexible board states. You're mulching through your stuff. You're setting up. Problem is you can get overwhelmed. Sometimes you just have a bad hand that doesn't do anything now, but does something over a long enough period of time. And barring repurpose, we don't have a lot of like big, very big tempo plays. It's mostly a lot of like very strong value plays over a hopefully consistent game. So it's not perfect. Protection is hard to have big punches. There's a couple, attack events you could play in protection, but they're all pretty expensive compared to aggression. So it's up to you to make it make sense. I do think allies are another kind of reasonable way to fix some of those issues, but I played through a whole campaign of this, and mind you, when you play through the campaign, you unlock cards that also make you more strong and more consistent, and I have appreciated them. Zola is usually the hardest fight in the Red Skull box, and I think is a really interesting fight, not only for thematics, but because defeating big allies with toughness and boosted stats is like a really weird thing for Rocket to deal with. It's sometimes good, sometimes a bit worse. So this is a game that I think on Expert, we have a good shot of losing this encounter, which is, I think makes it more exciting television. So let me just catch up on chat. I was talking about the character. Sure, the cards are cool. I understand they're like a common ship. I don't know if the ship is in the comics or whether it's just from like TV or wherever they showed up. Energy Shield ally with Groot ally could be great. It can be really good. And like if you only play 1, fantastic, because then Groot survives and then Groot functionally heals 3, right? Like you spam 1 card for 3 as long as Groot survives. So I'm kind of a big fan of it. I know other people posted decks online where you play Groot and then you play the card from, we built the deck around it, the card from Falcon, where you like when your hero, when an ally, or sorry, when a character would block, when they would take 1 damage, prevent it, and then remove threat instead. So it's like energy barrier, but for threat. Like you can build a whole Groot blocking deck, I think, in Rocket, and it'd be kind of fun. All right, give this a shuffle and we'll talk about Zola. Catch my breath. We should be in a good spot. I think, again, this is going to be dodgy. I don't think Rocket's like the most consistent or powerful thing, but it's been really fun. So I'm glad to be able to do this on a Sunday night. The Island of Dr. Zola. So we're playing stock standard. Why not? So we're playing Zola 2 and 3 because we're on expert. Retaliate's going to be there. None of our guns have ranged. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. And we're playing with the modular set under attack. So Zola has a lot of minions, 10 of them, and they'll come out consistently because every 3 turns you just about get a minion. Under attack has 1 notable card, 2 copies of Concussive Blast, which boost or when revealed, it does 1 damage to every character you control. It sucks when you lose your toughness on the hidden base to that. That just does happen sometimes. But also if you try to block with an ally that has 1 health, that's a nightmare as well. Shout out also, I just want to double check. I'm pretty sure Energy Shield, hold on, is an interrupt. Yeah, it's an interrupt. So you cannot use Energy Shield to protect your tough status card because again, status cards have priority over force interrupts, which have priority over interrupts. So status card beats interrupt. Okay. So the setup is kind of weird because we have this Hydra Prison here, which functionally doesn't have text that matters. I'll show you it anyways. It just grabs your deck's, your character's identity specific ally, and Rocket Raccoon fights solo. So there is no identity specific ally there. So search and counter deck for Hydra Prison, reveal it. Each player searches the counter deck for a copy of Ultimate Bioservant. There's a whole bunch of these in the deck. They scale the longer you leave them on the table, so you have to deal with them. And then shuffle the counter deck. Sick. Let's look at Hydra Prison. This is a Hydra Prison. Comes in with 1 threat. When revealed, each player searches their deck, discard pile in hand for a hero-specific ally and places it face down beneath. We do not have it. The ally that each of these characters came with was Groot and Rocket in Groot and Rocket, or Rocket and Groot correspondingly, but they don't have any hero-specific allies, so this does not touch either of them. Place X threat on the scheme where X is the total cost of all allies beneath it. Each player shuffles their deck. When defeated, remove this from the game and grab the ally. So we're going to just keep this here as a way to dodge a master plan. Technically, if you play on the campaign mode, you are forced to finish this, but we'll just leave it there because it's fine. It's totally fine to be on the table. Let's flip this over. There are 2 main schemes. The first one has a pretty small threshold. The second one's a bit higher. Forced response, a lot of text here. So it says after resolving step 1 of the villain phase. So that's when you put 1 threat there per turn per player. Place a test counter here. Then, if there are 3 or more test counters here, discard cards from the top of the counter deck until a minion is discarded, and then you put that minion into play, engage with the first player, and remove 3 test counters. So a couple things, minutia, but very important. The minion is put into play, so it's not when revealed. So while quick strike will happen, and there are quick strike minions, you don't have to do any when revealed text. So that's nice. Secondly, this happens first, then the villain activates against you, so then the minions engaged with you will activate against you, so you'll get hit by the minion or get schemed on by the minion. Thirdly, if this fails, you do not remove the test counters. So if you deck out and fail to find a minion, the test counters will stay. This also is a then clause, so you only do this when you put a counter during phase 1 of the villain phase. So if you draw an encounter card that says add a threat counter here, or sorry, test counter there, you do not go get a minion there if it hits 3, you wait for this then clause. So that's kind of nice. Let's look at the villain. It's Zola, small hit points, but a lot of other problems to deal with. 2 scheme, 2 attack, retaliate 1. Retaliate's a bit rough. We don't have a huge health pool. And when revealed, search and counter deck and discard pile for the test subjects and reveal it. It's right here. This one is only 2 threat, so we can get rid of it for sure on turn 1. However, it grabs a minion, and I think this one does get revealed. When defeated, the first player discards cards from the top of the counter deck until they discard a minion, reveal that minion. Otherwise, this has a hazard icon, which draws another encounter card. We do not want that. So we're going to clear that. Ultimate Bioservant we do start with. It's okay. It only gets worse. Ultimate Bioservant. This says toughness, 1 attack, 1 scheme, 4 health, and its attack goes up for every attachment. And I forget how many attachments there are in the deck. We can check really quickly, but it's probably like half a dozen at least. 7. Yeah, 7 out of 25. And there's some cards that care about attachments in the discard pile too, so they come a bit more consistently. That's mostly it. Hey, Mataffer. Hey, happy holidays. Just wrapped D&D night and wanted to stay hey home. Hey, happy holidays. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully your D&D was going good. Enjoying the last week of the year. I know I am. We got some Marvel Champions today. Thanks for dropping in. Leo Fitz and Gemma are a couple in the series, and people refer to them as a single person called Fitzsimmons. This I know of, as much as I haven't seen the show. They're both major characters in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series, and the narrative arc is incredible. And there is a specific scene where their slow burn relationship pays off in an amazing way. Very cute. I think that's the whole setup, right? Let me just shuffle the counter deck. I've already done this before, but you should probably do this for the camera. Makes better television. And we are off. Alter Ego. We are 2-on-1 stats. Right now, we can trash a tech card. Finding Fitzsimmons on the first is really good. Finding your Ingenuity on their first is really good too, because those are cards that are somewhat Alter Ego traded. Otherwise, we want to deal with this and we want to deal with that. Dealing with this is easy. We thwart for 2. So the best thing we could possibly find is our 4 damage cannon, but it's very expensive. So I don't know if it'll line up. Let's go. Mulligan 4/6. Prof X. Prof X can stun a minion, which is okay. 3 threat is kind of useless on Prof X because there's no threat on the table besides the 2 on test subjects. But in theory, if we play Prof X cheaply, like maybe that's fine. It doesn't feel great. Rockets Pistols. Okay, this is the floor. Rockets Pistols is good. Again, none of these have range, so they do hit retaliate off of everything. Repurpose if we want to do a tempo play, so you can play your gun, shoot your gun, ready yourself. That's not awful. Energy Barrier, also not bad. If we play this with repurpose, we can go a bit further. These are all kind of maybe cards, I'll be honest. Groot. I like Groot. Groot is really nice because Groot can block the Bioservant and then just like toe-to-toe it. That's kind of nice. Zola only attacks for 2, so Groot is likely to stay alive, but a lot of these cards are very expensive and we haven't drawn a resource yet. And we have a battery pack, which is like quintessentially a pretty mid card when you're starting. That's for sure. So all of these cards are independently pretty good. We didn't draw any of the cards we are not happy with, but I can't tell what we want to keep here. Question regarding video stuff. I'm putting up a YouTube channel and podcast for Earthborn, and I'm teaching myself DaVinci Resolve. Any resource software you recommend? So I have done all my video learning through the Adobe Suite. Right now you have to pay monthly for it. It's relatively expensive, but I do it professionally, so it's kind of like a non-issue. Like that is going to be what I'm going to be doing. From my understanding, DaVinci Resolve is very full functioned and very free, which is really, really good. And because of both of those reasons, there's a lot of tutorials online and like support stuff for it. So I think if you're getting into video editing, unless you want to do something very, very, and I don't want to say simple, because there's some really good stuff you can even do on mobile, right? Like there's some very good software, like iPad stuff, phone stuff, right? Tablet stuff. But if you want to do like, sit down, no nonsense, linear editing, I would highly recommend DaVinci as much as I've never used it. I'd hard mulligan this hand personally. I don't mind this. I think this is the one card we can keep for sure because it allows us to hopefully do a bit of damage into the test subject that'll show up. This is not necessary. This is actually not terrible because this means that we can attack for 2, thwart for 2. That's a lot on the first turn. That might help us a fair bit. What's actually kind of nice too is sometimes you want to do test subjects and then the thing that comes out can have quick strike. So there's even an advantage in clearing this in alter ego, as much as I don't think we're going to be able to do that because I don't want to play Prof X. Prof X doesn't have enough threat, so I'm not going to keep it. Groot's a bit expensive when we have probably a bit of a more tempo play to play this turn. And I don't want to keep these 2. So I'm going to keep these as a hedge. Worst case, we don't use them. Let's go. Gemma, nice. Actually, it doesn't really matter. You can play Gemma in any side because we're not shield traded, so she might be a bit expensive. Another energy barrier is not great. I've got a plan is technically a ready. It's technically a 1-cost ready. I really don't care for this card. And then we have the rocket launcher, which is actually surprisingly good here. So that might be the gun that we pursue because rocket launcher is nice. It's just nice because you're going to be able to target multiple minions and we're guaranteed to have multiple minions. Now, the issue is here, we don't have a cheap tech card that we can use our alter ego ability on, so kind of scuffed. So not the best. I Got a Plan is so awkward. It's such a clumsy card. I'm glad there's no more cards like it. I wish it was, yeah, and many other things. So if we played Rocket Launcher, it costs us 3, which leaves us with maybe a 2-gun start. We could also repurpose the rocket launcher and only lose 1 bullet, but then have a massive amount of attack, which means we can knock out any 5 health thing, no problem. That's probably where we start. I think where we start is we do nothing. And then we just jump up and clear test subjects and see what happens. Because based off of what happens from test subjects, we could consider I've Gotten a Plan. There's 3 different minions that can show up from test subjects, if I'm not mistaken. One has quick strike, 3 health. One is an ultimate bioservant. And then the other one, when revealed, grabs attachments, I think. And you do reveal it, so. Yo, Nolan, I love Rocket Protection. This is the first Rocket I played in a long time, and I played a campaign over the holidays, and I thought it was great. Happy holidays. Hopefully you're doing well. DaVinci's been great. Seems really robust. Folks at Neon Static had a cool tutorial to implement card images, so I went with DaVinci. Also, it's free. Yeah, I would say also it's free is like easily the end of the conversation for many, and rightfully so. But it's also quite good. It's really quite good. All right, we're going to flip. We're not going to do alter ego text, I don't think. And then in hero mode, we're just going to thwart 2. We're going to clear test subjects, which forces us to discard cards until we get a minion, and we have to reveal the minion. Okay. No. Oh, no, this is fine. All right, so we got the biggest one. This is Zola's Mutate. It has 5 health, but it's going to go up. And it says when revealed, and we did reveal it. Discard cards from the top of the counter deck until a tech attachment is discarded. Attach it to this. So we got 2 Concussive Blasts out. That's actually kind of interesting. Excuse me. I've got to shuffle that in a second. All right, we have Defensive Programming, which gives it, I think, 2 more health. So Defensive Programming says attaches to the minion with the most remaining hit points. Well, this one says attaches to it, so that's fine. It gets +2 hit points and guard. I have a tendency to forget guard, so I will mark it down. This thing attacks for 2. And I'm going to put guard on Zola because that's technically where guard matters. And I will forget to clear that and then totally have no use of doing anything with it. This is the top of the deck. I guess we can just shuffle. It doesn't matter. Don't ask about the family. I'm sorry. I won't ask. That's sorry, hopefully it's okay. All right, so we can't do 7 damage this turn. We're going to be able to do 6 damage and do an AoE. I think we're not going to wake ourselves up. So I think we're just going to do the setup where we do pistol, rocket launcher. We can empty both of these and hopefully jump down soon. So the other options, we can play rocket launcher, say for 3. We can fire the rocket. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't think I am. We can fire the rocket launcher. Oh, I have to shuffle this. That's what I'm forgetting. So that will take off toughness, do 2 damage to Zola, 2 damage to the mutate. Then we can repurpose the rocket launcher and then we can attack for 4, which does not defeat the Zola mutate. So we're a bit behind there. We found a good source for Earthbound Rangers card scans. Oh yeah, they don't have the player card scans. Sorry, they only have the player card scans. For what that's worth, I'm waiting for Synthesoid Smackdown scans to be available. Shout out to all the nice people who do that stuff. So yeah, if we do that, we're going to be attacking for 1, 2, then we'll be attacking for 4, which doesn't defeat the mutate. So I think we're just going to do double guns. So I'm going to pay 4 for these, and we're going to use both of them. So firstly, this comes in with 2 charge counters. Pistol comes in with 3. We're going to exhaust the rocket launcher. So we're going to choose us as a player. We'll deal 2 damage to everything. So the villain goes down to 12. That's not an attack, so we don't have to worry about retaliate. Then I'm going to do the rocket's pistol. So I exhaust this and do 2 damage. I think we're just going to work on the mutate. That means next turn we'll have an overkill angle. Hopefully we draw into a repurpose, and that's unfortunately our whole turn. This is what I mean. We don't have tempo plays. We only have value plays. And sometimes when there's this board, like if we draw a gang up, we lose. Like, let's be very clear. If we draw a gang up, we just lose this turn. Even like Shadow of the Past, we might be in a bad spot because we'll be attacked by another quick strike thing. All right, we're ready. Ready for fight? Again, we do want to jump down because we can empty one of these guns to draw 2 cards. So hopefully we'll have a physical. Reload, which is exactly what I mean. Like, this card doesn't do anything. Like, this is 2 more damage for whatever. Salvage, that's technically a physical. And if we jump down, we can get the rocket launcher back on our deck. Energy is okay. And we have a Schadenfreude, so that's actually okay. As much as that's the only physical we have in the hand besides the salvage. So I'm assuming our turn is like energy into Schadenfreude, do a whole bunch of damage, heal back up to 9, and then jump down and rebuild. That's actually going to be a cool turn. Might be neat. All right, Zola. Hold on. I'm going to need more purple dye. So I'll bring out more purple dye. This goes to 1 and 1. Again, once it hits the 3rd counter, we have to discard until we find a minion. Then Zola's going to attack us for 2 and a card. We have no reason to block this. Our defense is 1. Worst we can take is 5, 6, 7, 8. We're probably not likely to die here. If we draw a bad encounter card, we could just lose here. So 1, 2. Boost, Ultimate Bioservant. Give the villain a tough status card. Okay. So Zola gets toughness, which sucks because then we don't do damage for Schadenfreude, but that's only 2 damage, so we can't be too mad. Then Zola's Mutate attacks for 2 and Ultimate Bioservant attacks for 2. So we'll go down to 4. Encounter card is Technological Enhancements. This is probably fine, right? Yeah, this is fine. Insight 1. So threat goes up by 1. Place 1 test counter, which means next turn we'll get another minion engage with us. So that's a problem. And that's that. Well, fine. Seems fine. I got the entire of the core from TTS, but it's slow to crop all the cards. There has to be a TTS app that makes it able to rip cards. Fortunately, no. On the EB Discord, there was a person who was planning on scanning in the campaign expansion, but not sure the progress. Yeah, there has to be a way to be able to rip cards from TTS. I'd be surprised if there's not. All right, Schadenfreude. For those who don't know, this is the joy you take from other people's misery. It's a German word. Till the end of the turn, heal 2 damage. Every time you deal any amount of damage to an enemy. This says each time you deal damage. So they don't have to take the damage. What does tough say? Hold on. No, really? The next time a character would take an amount of damage, discard this. This is deal. Okay, so I don't know. I think deal damage beats toughness. Does retaliate happen before or after? Retaliate happens last. It's like the last part of an attack. So I'm assuming we would heal and then lose retaliate. So this is you don't take damage, but we do deal damage. So actually toughness, I think, should go through. You cancel the damage, remove the tough. You don't cancel the damage. They just don't take damage. But this game has a difference between taking and dealing damage. Dealing damage is the ability to give the damage, but taking means it actually impacts your health. I'm like 90% sure. Tough prevents take, deal steals heals. Yeah, I think that's how it works. So we're going to play Schadenfreude. Then we're going to do a rocket launcher. So we'll do 2 damage to everything. This loses its counter. And mind you, because a rocket launcher does not have uses, it stays on the table. So we do 2 damage to this, we heal 2. 2 damage to this, we heal 2. 2 damage to toughness, non-attack, we don't take retaliate, we heal 2. Which we're at full health. We don't take retaliate here. Okay, we can only defeat one of these. We could defeat both of them, actually. But then we won't draw a card. So I think we pistol the Bioservant to knock it out, and then we attack Zola's Mutate with our basic attack. That means that we miss, what's it called? We miss Overkill, which draws us a card with our hero text. But I think it'd be much better to clear both of these. The other option is keeping the ultimate Bioservant in play, and then just thwarting this with our basic thwart. Zola is not going to thwart. Zola's going to attack. So I think we just have to clear these, because I think we're going to jump down and then what's it called? Play ready for a fight. So we're going to be jumping up again. So I'm just going to pistol into Ultimate Bioservant, healing 2, which we can't. And we'll do a basic attack into Zola's Mutate. So we had no overkill damage. Again, having 1 attack makes overkill literally impossible. And then we're going to jump down. If we play Salvage first, we can go get a tech card on top of our deck. Issue is, I think the tech cards we have here are Energy Barrier, which is not bad, or Battery Pack, which is okay as well. I think we want the rocket launcher back because we're going to have maybe 2 minions next turn. So I think we're going to sell the rocket launcher, then put on top of the deck, and then just have it in our hand. So I think the order there really matters. There's no line where you reload to overkill and draw. I don't think so, because then we're spending 2 cards to draw 1, let alone the cards that we want to play. Like these 2 cards are given. This is why I don't like reload here. Reload is functionally 2 cards to do 2 damage. It's not great. Admittedly, you draw, so it's 2 for 1, but this is like such a perfect combo because it's the ready for fight. It's a bit awkward because it's a double, but this card technically has a physical on it, which is like kind of rare for the deck. So I don't think we can do it. So I want to put the rocket launcher back on top of the deck. So in all 3 go, we'll go ahead and tinker this. So we discard it and draw 2. Genius. Repurpose. Ugh. Ugh. That's terrible. Oh, this hand's awful. Where's Lockjaw when you need him? Oh man, this hand's unplayable. Repurpose, mind you, is hero only. Oh, that's so bad. All right, well, I'll salvage out a ready for a fight. So ready for a fight says when Zola will thwart, which in theory we could let him thwart for, no, we can't. And then when we use salvage, we can put a tech card on top of our deck. So we'll do the rocket launcher. And then this is totally useless. I think next turn we'll be able to repurpose our pistol so we can hold on to a pistol. Hey Pat, how's it going? Happy holidays, bud. Every deck needs more dumpster dog. It feels like it sometimes. I think we have a lot of resources, and you have to also be careful about how many cards you have that are like alter ego or hero only. For us, we have so many tech cards to play, but unfortunately repurpose, reload, obviously the double, like these are useless. Hope you're enjoying the holidays. It's been good, man. I just got back to Montreal. Hopefully your holidays have been all right as well. Repurpose will have a target next turn. We have 1 battery pack in the bin. I want to hold into the double because we're going to draw on the rocket launcher. We definitely don't hold on to reload, but I think we actually do hold on to these 2. Yeah, and we'll pass. So we're in alter ego. So we'll drop to 6. So we know 3 of them. Our surprise card, practice plan, not super useful. Spider Bite, we have currently 1 tech card. It'll be 2 tech card, and her cost is reduced. So the next card we're going to draw is 100% going to be Energy Shield. Oh, Particle Cannon, my favorite card. Literally my favorite rocket card, but this is a very expensive hand, and we haven't had any research generators at the table. All right, the Island of Dr. Zola. This goes to 3, and then this goes to 3. So now we discard cards until a minion is put into play, not revealed. Cool thing is if we get the quick strike guy, we're an alter ego, so he doesn't get quick struck. And we did. Still going to hit us one more time, but that's the Berserk Mutate. There's a couple of these, maybe 3. And it always reminds me that I don't know how to spell the word Berserk given a good day. So Berserk Mutate has quick strike, 3 health, but we are in alter ego, so it does not hit us. This one will hit you twice. Oh, guard is gone. All right, Zola. I played a game of Unstoppable today, or about a third of one before I made so many rules errors I felt I had to reset. Dude, I brought Unstoppable to Burlington because I knew my brother would love to play it. Daniel would love to play it. Daniel loved it. My brother loved it too. He was like, we have to play every single scenario. I played like 4 or 5 games of Unstoppable over the holidays. I thought it was a really good choice to bring it. So Zola would scheme here for 2 and a card. I think we're pretty good to do ready for fight and just take the damage. So we're going to crack this, jump up to hero mode. And now we're just going to get attacked for 2 and a card. 3 off pain inhibitors. So just 1 boost. And then 2 more for Berserk Mutate. So yeah, actually kind of scary. That's 5 damage. I'm glad they liked it. My brother loves deck builders, let alone like the modularity and like the sort of, you know, momentum. Ugh. All right. Quick strike. Take 2. I'm not scared. Okay. So good thing here is we have the rocket launcher, which we can clear the table. These should be cleared, mind you. But we might have to tactically jump down and retreat. But I'm pretty sure here we have to do the rocket launcher, which will do 2 to 2, and then Rocket's pistol defeats one of them. If we stay in alter ego, these things only scheme for 0, so they're like not a liability. If we draw an encounter card that attaches to them, like so be it. It's not the worst. But I do think that's probably what we're going to do. Is we're going to do a rocket launcher, draw a card, maybe get a cheap tech card, commit spider bite. That's our panic blocker. We haven't played an ally yet. Our deck only has 4, but look at our health total. Like we definitely need allies. I think that's probably what we're going to do. So let's see what we play for the rocket launcher. I think it's going to be just this. Particle cannon is probably worth holding on to. If we draw a double, maybe it hits the table. It's really quite good. I guess the other option is just to play the particle cannon, because this draw does 4 damage and then knocks out a Berserk Mutate and draws a card guaranteed, but it doesn't do anything to this Mutate. Yeah, this is actually like a comparable board state. This does 2 to everything, which is 6 damage. This does 4 damage and overkill, so we're only losing 2 damage, but it guarantees a card draw without wasting the pistol. Good luck with the rocket deck. Have fun. Thanks, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, eh? What do y'all think? I think either of these are kind of fine. If we had a cheap tech card, we'd be in a good spot, but I think there's a chance that we just do rocket launcher, knockout 1, jump down. Next turn, we jump up rocket launcher the other, and we hold on to our pistol. But actually, because we're jumping down, we probably want to empty the pistol anyways to discard it to draw 2. So if that's the case, I think we go for the AoE one. So then we have a reason to dump the pistol. I guess we could dump the pistol anyways, though, into the mutate. We could do 4 damage, but then this is less useful. I'm going to go for the AoE one. Yeah, I think I will. That might not be right. We'll do 3 for the rocket launcher. I think that's actually a really interesting decision. 2 charges. We're going to use one to deal 2 damage to everything. Zola's down to 10. We're working. Oh, Zola had a toughness. Yeah, that's why. I was like, this felt like it should have been more. And then we'll use the pistol to do 2 damage to this Berserk Mutate. And because we did overkill with our hero, we got to draw a card. It's going to be a cheap tech card. That's reload. Ugh. Hate reload. All right. So if we want to play Spider Bite now, we could. I think we're going to try and recover here. But Spider Bite only cost 1. We could also repurpose the Rocket's pistol, but on this board state, I think it's actually much better that we just jump down and sell it to draw 2 cards to the pawn shop. That means we want to play Bite before, so I think we're okay with it. If that's the case, I don't think we're holding on to repurpose at all. It's better than reload. So we'll pitch 1 for Spider Bite. And we'll just use it to thwart 2. So maybe we don't clear the main scheme this turn. Maybe. So it should take 1 consequential. All right, we'll hop down. In alter ego, we're just going to sell this pistol. That's a tech card to draw 2. We get, I've got a plan. Useless in alter ego. Hey, that's good. That's a skeleton. We definitely want that. Cybernetic skeleton is really nice. Not you? Ooh, you're a good card, though. Is every card that says the word cybernetic a tech card? So that's perfect because we can do 2 for the skeleton. So I'll put this on the back row because it doesn't actually do anything. In fact, I'll put it here. So we get +2 hit points, which we do appreciate that. And we get +1 attack. So now we're a bit better at overkill. especially next turn will matter. And so we're up to 2-2-1. And then we're just going to exhaust recover for 3. I'm going to hold on to this gun, I think. So we should have a good target next turn. And there's a lot of minions in this deck. And we'll pass. We're like keeping afloat, but I would say only kind of barely. We'll draw up to 6. Last for purpose. Hidden base. You want this on the other side because it only works when you jump down. The wording is a bit tricky. Ready for a fight. So let's see if we have a physical in our hand. So far, no. The first energy shield, which we can just drop this and draw 2 because there's a tech card. And an energy barrier. I think the energy shield would probably drop just to draw an extra card. All right, this goes to 2. I love that the Berserk Mutate are wearing pants. Wait, are they actually? Berserk Mutate. Yeah, decency. The first thing I honestly think the first thing that Zola built was pants, and then it was like, I need to build something to fill these pants. And that's how you end up with this guy. Sewing machine and heaps of spandex. That is the mutation part, is the pants. All right, Zola's going to scheme on us for 2 and a card. We're just going to let it fly. Not that we can do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obligation, but big boost means we crack this. We don't lose, but we're going to get another minion to play. And because of the timing of this, the minion's going to be able to scheme here. So it says the Mad Doctor. Each player searches the counter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. Oh, it's up to us to do it. Okay. We'll go get a mutate back. We reveal it. It has quick strike. It has pants. So the quick strike won't fire. And we can deal with this next turn. Cool. Notably, the counters on this clear because the counters are attached to the card. So when the card advances, the counters go. So sometimes when this is on 2, you want to tactically retreat. It's something that happens a fair bit in Magneto, if you ask me. So Mad Doctor, 8 threat, comes in with 1 and has the exact same text. So once it hits 3, I don't think the text is any different. There's a lot of words to read there. I think it's entirely the same. After resolving step 1, place a test. Then if there are 3 or more test counters, discard cards, put that minion into play, remove 3. No, it's the same. Schemes for 0, and counter card. Ah! One of them is getting bigger. Neurological implants. Attach to the minion with the most remaining hit points without a neurological. If you cannot, they get +2 hit points and they hit a lot harder. So now that has 5 health. And we have a bit more work to do. Okay. So we're going to have to play another gun. We've gone through nearly our first cycle. We're going to be able to draw a couple cards here on this turn. I think we're going to either play Energy Shield to repurpose it or Energy Shield and then just use our Alter Ego ability to draw 2. I think before we decide what to do that, we should plan the rest of the turn out. So we definitely want to get our Particle Cannon down, which is obviously quite expensive. So that's, say, 3 cards. That leaves us with both of these, which is not super playable. If this was a 2-cost card, we can't play it. If it's a 1-cost card, we don't have the physical. So I think we do just repurpose the Energy Shield. It's likely to draw us into another Energy Shield because it's the first one we've seen. But I think we're just going to play the Energy Shield and then immediately destroy it to draw 2 cards. Strength? Oh, that's actually really good. Ready for fight. That's a combo. We have like so few physical resources. Yeah, we'll play a double for it sometimes. Actually, no, we'll do ready for a fight for ready for a fight. In theory, we probably should hop up here to be safe because this mutate is going to scheme for 2. What expansion is Zola from? I'm so sad I pivoted to L5R when I did and missed him and the X-Men. Last thing I saw was Kang. Zola was the first box. Zola's in Rise of Red Skull. He's the 4th scenario. And if you ask me in solo play, by far the hardest. I think my stats confirm that. But yeah, he was the like, I don't know the timing of exactly if he's like the 7th villain because there was like mini expansions. But the first box was Crossbones, Absorbing Man, Taskmaster, Zola, Red Skull. Zola is my favorite villain in the game. He's definitely up there for me too. I think Zola always makes interesting games. Zola is always interesting and like makes you work with every part of the game. I think Zola's pretty sick. We can recover 3 here. I think we will. We just have a time to do it. And I don't think our attack for 2 is going to matter that much because we're going to attack for 4, attack for 2. We're going to get a lot of cards. We're drawing a lot of cards here. So we're going to cover for 3. We're going to flip. We're going to do double into Energy Barrier into the Particle Cannon. So we're going to lose some damage here, but we're going to get some good cards for it. So this comes in with 2 charges. It does 4 damage with Overkill and range. Oh, actually, this one does have ranged. Good for us. We're not going to deck out. So we don't have to use Spider Bite here. So I think the most overdraw we can do. Oh, it doesn't matter. So we should do the rocket launcher first. Yeah, so we're going to use the rocket launcher. In theory, we should do this first before we play the particle cannon because the card we draw could be more interesting than Energy Barrier. So I guess, okay, let's just be technically correct and not use this yet. So the rocket launcher does It's so wild to have a card called Rocket Launcher that looks like this and it does 2 damage. So deal 2 damage to the villain on each minion engaged. So 2 damage to Zola, it's not an attack, so we don't take retaliate. And then 2 damage to this mutate, which defeats it, which luckily for us, fires our hero attack, so we draw a card. Rocket's Pistol. Okay, so we are limited on slots, so we might not be able to play everything unless we draw our extra pocket. Sad I missed Hood too. Love the Halloween VOD with all the spooky sets. Yeah, Hood's really cool too, but honestly, I think Hood's better for the encounter sets you get than the villain himself, but I do like Hood. All right, we'll do 1, 2, 3 for the particle cannon. The best card we could top deck here is our extra gun slot, I think. But now we're going to attack, dealing 4 damage. So 3 to the mutate, 1 overkill goes to Zola, not retaliate. So Zola goes down to 7, and we draw a card. Rocket Launcher, where it actually fires Rocket Raccoon. Thruster Boots. Oh, we'll take that. Thruster Boots are good. We don't need it now, but hey, +1 thwart's fine. And so now we have to make the best of this hand. There's no way that we're not playing a ready for a fight for a ready for a fight, considering how rare physicals are. And you can use this in hero mode to stop a scheme. And Zola, I think, has a couple activation cards. I think the one that says, like, you are confused, Zola schemes. I think we could just do damage. We could repurpose this rocket launcher to get a hand slot. Then we could just play the pistol in the slot as well. Or we could just dump the pistol on top of this and the rocket boots. We're going to be losing out on 5 damage. I think we take 5 damage where we can take 5 damage. So I will repurpose. So this card is like such a good card to build a whole deck around. Like if you've ever played Protection Tech, you know how good repurpose is. I wish we had more cards like this. So discard a tech. So we'll discard this rocket launcher. Till the end of the round, the hero gets +X. We could go for defense, but I'm going to go for attack. So we technically have 5 attack this round, and we are ready. If you play multiple repurposes on a turn, you get a lot of value. So I'm just going to attack for 5, take 1, because the retaliate into Zola, dropping Zola down to 2. I don't think we're going to defeat Zola here. We could, but I think we're just going to set up, and we're just going to play our pistol. That's it. It's a shame not to use it, because its value is unlocked very slowly, but I don't think we will use it. And I don't think we'll use Spider Bite. In fact, we might block with Spider Bite. I took a damage, right? Yeah, I did. And we'll pass. That was a great turn. Really good turn. I'll hold on to this. This card's worth playing on the first cycle. Did you pack a side holster? Did I pack a side holster? You mean this card? You mean this card? You mean this one? You mean this one? It's in the deck. It's in the bottom 4. It's in there, I promise. I thought I would get it. Hood is super fun when you make a thematic set. I did a Spider-Man Hood set and super fun, super difficult. Yeah, I've just had some Hood games that are non-games. Where like on turn 1, you surge 5 times and the game is over. Like if you could limit how much surge could happen in a single turn, I think Hood is sick. But I've had Hood games that are non-games, and then I've had Hood games where they're some of the most interesting games I've ever played. Hood is very modular. Also, Nova and Ironheart's packs are meant to go into the random mods with the Hood. Says you? Or like officially? Because I don't think I've ever played Armadillo and Zax. It would probably be Mansion Attack or Tower Defense. Oh, weird. I didn't think Tower Defense would come up there. Off topic, are you planning on making strategy learn to play vids on Crash Space? Yeah, I think so. I think the next thing I'd want to make on this channel, because like gameplay content only like hits a certain population, and I like talking about this game, is I'll probably make content that focuses on the core set and talking about like basic, you know, competitive card gamer ideas when it comes to like how we make decisions in this game. I think there's some really easy things to learn that new players like struggle with, like don't defend as much. A lot of people exhaust to defend. It's not a great thing, but like, you know, basic rules like that. Like what is reach? Right? I think it's really important when you play your first games to understand that at any point in time, Rhino, even if you're in hero mode, can thwart for 4, or sorry, can scheme for 4. And that's how you lose the Rhino game. So basic ideas like that, I think, are worth recapping. Learn to play, probably not, but basic strategy for sure. And like here's a deck we build out of the core set. Stuff like that seems good. All right, this goes to 2, gets 1 test counter. What is Zola up to? And then Zola's going to attack here for 2 and a card. We're pretty healthy. We're not going to deck out yet. We can use Spider Bite to clear the main scheme. So I think we're just going to take this to the face. 1, 2. Boost. Berserk Mutate. I think this cares about the counters on the thing. So place 1 test counter. This gets +1 for each counter. So we get attack for 4. Ow. Down to 6. And counter card. Caught off guard. Ooh, not the worst. So we have to discard an upgrade or a support. My guess is we discard the cannon? No, the cannon will knock at Zola and draw a card. It's not the cannon. What is it? It's not going to be ready for a fight because we're jumping into Aldrigo this turn for sure. I don't want to lose 3 hit points because like that's kind of scary. So I think it's actually the pistol here. It's not that good. I think we do discard the pistol. It just sucks because every tech card is like worth 2 cards for you at a minimum. I asked because there's some really weird priority stuff going on. Like when you were mentioning the game's prioritizes toughness versus Magneto Shield. Oh, yeah. That stuff is worth making small content to talk about that. Sometimes that stuff changes. Like it always hasn't been like that. Shout out at least FFG, like, you know, updating the rule set. Like that's kind of cool. But short-term videos, does anybody know the name? There's somebody who had made some great YouTube content where they would like talk about a hero and specifically talk about the timing that you had to understand to play that hero to the best of their ability. I think they did one on Shadowcat that I found so compelling when I was newer to the game. I don't think they made that much content, but like stuff like that, like a deep dive into the technical, you know, how does this kit work for timing, I think is quite important. Okay, we're going to deck out here. I think we're going to start by just particle cannoning because it draws a card. So we're going to deal 4 damage to Zola. If Zola takes 4, we take 1 because of retaliate. But the biggest thing is we did overkill. So we draw a card. It's a battery pack. Nice. That being said, Zola advances. So the backside has retaliate 1. So technically we take retaliate because of the backside, not the front side. Oh, this has text on it. I forgot about that. Set to 16 health, not a huge head point. Each player searches in counter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. So we get the quick strike 1, it hits us. I forgot about that. That's a reason to keep the pistol. So we could keep the quick strike 1 because it doesn't scheme at all. Because right now we're attacking only for 2. The other one we could get is just the 1/1 with toughness. Like maybe that's fine. I think that's fine. I think the quick strike 1, taking 2 damage is actually not that bad. Let's do the quick strike 1. So we'll reveal the Berserk Mutate again. Mr. Pants. Gonna hit us for 2. We'll take it. Down to 3. We're gonna recover this turn though. Oh, because we're doing ready for a fight. Actually, yeah, no, because we're doing ready for a fight. We're gonna be jumping up anyway. So let's go for the ultimate Bioservant. We'll recover 2 there. It's because we're not gonna be staying in Alter Ego. Ready for a fight jumps us up. So the quick strike thing will actually attack us again. So it's silly. So we'll just take 1 damage instead of 2. Toughness 4 health. This is ultimate Bioservant. So if this thing gets attached, it gets worse for us. That's mostly it. Does Gamora hit something? So we have Gamora in our hand. We technically know what's in our deck. It's no events, so Gamora is not worth playing. There's our side holster, a salvage, and an energy shield. We'll shuffle this. Let me know if you think this is like sacrosanct, but I always check my deck. I don't care unless we know something about the ordering of the deck, like we've set up the bottom of the deck. I always check my deck instead of checking my discard pile and doing the math backwards. It just saves you time in your life. Technically, you're not allowed to do that, but a shuffle deck is the same as every other shuffle deck in the game, so I don't care. I imagine some people might think weird that's totally weird, but it just saves you time. We'll thwart for 2 with Spider Bite. We're getting another minion to play as well, so not gonna be great. We're gonna hop down. We are gonna sell our particle cannon, or are we gonna battery pack our particle cannon? I think we're gonna battery pack our particle cannon because we know we're gonna have a minion next turn. We could sell this energy shield. We could play Leo here, but Leo doesn't do that too much. Like Leo basically is we spend 4 cards to gain 1 card, which I think here we're relatively within striking distance of ending the game. So I don't actually think we'll play Leo. SCOE made the Shadowcat how to help me a lot. I think that's the name. It's been a minute, but I think that's the name. They made a couple videos about different characters, and I thought it was such great stuff. Greg, how's it going? Thank you for taking the name up. I'm subscribed to them on my my personal account. We definitely want to play Ingenuity because we can only play when we're a genius. And I guess like 1 resource generator is not bad. We're not too late for that. So I think we will play Energy Shield and just sell it. So I'm going to install this. Cost 0. Its text doesn't matter because we're just going to discard this to draw 2. We wanted the side holster. We didn't get the double. The last card in our deck is the double. We really wanted that because drawing this double as the last card is awful because we won't have anything in the bin. That's such a bummer. We lost the 2 and 3, the 1 and 3. 2 and 3 because we drew 2 cards. Because this card would have been amazing because we could set up our deck to make sure that we draw into a good gun, the AoE gun, which we're going to need next turn. So real bummer that we did not end up drawing that. Yeah, we could use the double here. So I'm going to do 1, 2 into Ingenuity. I should plan the turn out. So let's not lock this in yet. We'll just use pencil here. With Ingenuity, we'll exhaust it to play the battery pack. The battery pack will reload the cannon. Then we can play thruster boots, side holster. Yeah, that's perfect. So we'll play the battery pack. It's a shame we can't stay down and alter ego one more turn, so we can just empty this fully. I'm going to immediately exhaust this to reload another tech. It doesn't ready the tech card. It just puts a counter on it. So we have one on each. I'll play the side holster over here. Just means we can have another tech, or sorry, another restricted slot. This is the 2 that we played for the side holster. And then we'll just give ourselves rocket boots, which is just, thruster boots. You can play rocket boots in this deck. It's a neat card. This puts us at 3 thwart. It doesn't give us anything else we care about. And then we'll just recover for 3, which honestly, this turn we might take a lot of damage. We have no allies. Actually, in hindsight, we're going to be attacked for 2 and then for 2 minions. I think in hindsight, because we're not staying down, I'm not going to use Spider Bite. This is actually a bit of a cheat because we technically drew cards and it changes our game. But in theory, there's no reason to do Spider Bite now. We should have done Spider Bite later when we jumped down, so because we could have got all the information. But I'm realizing like Zola's going to attack for 2 and a card. This is Zola 3, so 2 and a card. We can block that with Spider Bite. Spider Bite will miss the cycle, which sucks. But I think Spider Bite's worth a fair bit here, because we're going to get attacked. I thought we were going to jump down and clear this and get schemed on. But in theory, this goes to 1. Zola schemes for 3 and a card, so worst case is 6. And then ultimate brings us to 8 and we lose the game, let alone we haven't drawn anything counter cards that say Zola schemes or activates. So I think we won't use Spider Bite. So apologies for that, but we're going to undo the thwart. And she'll just miss the cycle, because I think we need a chump block here. In defensive reload, it works on all tech. So you have 2 weapons and a battery pack and get a lot of use. It does suck early game. Yeah, I just kind of wish there was more tech cards that you could exhaust that did something for you, right? Like imagine you had a resource generator that was tech traded. Like then suddenly we're talking. But at the end of the day, like emptying the battery pack faster isn't that important, because most times you play battery pack, you move a counter, next turn you move a counter, right? Like emptying this faster is not always a priority of the deck. Emptying the battery pack faster, that's a priority of the deck because you want to have empty tech cards. But it's just like, it's way more niche than you'd think it'd be, right? We draw salvage, of course we do. We draw a counter card and we shuffle. That's another good reason to have a chump blocker. On the turn that you're drawing 2 encounter cards, like we could easily lose the game. It was definitely not right to thwart there. As much as maybe Zola is going to scheme for 3 and we're cooked anyways. So I don't know actually what side we should be on. Always sad when good UT creators get stopped content. The Metgrade, Willing Done, and Trace 5 got me to Netrunner. Only one still standing. If you want to watch Trace 5, oh, what's his name? Man, he's such a cool dude. He has a channel called Lazy Game Dev Academy or Lazy Dev, something like that, where I think he now lives in China and he shows you how to make games on Pico 8. It's really good content. That dude was super, super nice and very good at his craft. But he has a really nice YouTube channel. Willing Done, I don't know what Willing Done's up to. But Willing Done, also old school Netrunner Goat. Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think about it. It's really good content. I'm subscribed to it. He does like relatively regular content. Man, I wish I remembered his name. Nice dude. Battery pack. Ready for a fight. Okay. Reload. Ah, it's here. Another ready for a fight. Okay, no cards in our hand. Give us tempo here. We definitely want a gun. Hidden base. Oh, that's pretty bad, honestly. This is what I mean. It's like some of the rocket cards, like this card doesn't do anything. This card doesn't do anything on the turn you draw it. Obviously these cards, that was us, but like these cards don't do anything on the turn you draw them. They're really awkward. All right, this goes to 3, hits 3 counters. We in theory could fail this, so we don't necessarily clear the counters, but I don't think it's like, we have enough cards in the deck. So we discard until there's an enemy and we put that enemy into play. There's an advance. There's the ultimate Bioservant. Okay. So we have 2 Bioservants. So we're going to be attacked for 2 instances of 1. I'm really struggling with this. Give me 1 second. So this clears. Toughness. Poor health. All right. Zola either schemes for 3 or attacks for 2. We're going to go ahead and jump up and take the attack. So we're going to jump up to hero mode. Ready for a fight interrupts that. And it says when somebody would scheme instead they attack you. And you can flip up. So Zola's attacking for 2 and a card. This damage will be somewhere to 5 damage. If it does the worst case, which is 5 damage, then we hit 6, 7. We know where, oh no, we know where the 2 cards that do burst 1 damage are, so that will be okay. So we might be able to keep Spider Bite as taking the toughness off. So I think we'll take this to the face. And if we draw another activate, we'll block with Spider Bite. So 1, 2, 3. We'll take 3. And then 4, 5 from the ultimate Bioservant. So we'll take 5. Down to 3 health. Schadenfreude is back in the loop. Zola's experiments. Okay. So 3 threat. Force response. After a minion enters play, attach the topmost tech attachment in the counter deck. It has an acceleration. Oh, this is not a minion. It's not. Oh, this card's really scary. We need to get rid of this thing. It's pretty hard to get rid of because we don't have a lot of ways to get rid of it. But Vibranium Armor is, there's a lot of decks that this is a death sentence if you can't get rid of it. It attaches to the villain, and after the villain takes any amount of damage, give it a tough status card. And you have to exhaust your hero and spend 2 physicals to get rid of this, which again is very quite difficult for our deck. I'll just put this over here because these cards kind of don't matter. Cool. All right. At least we can jump down and do hidden base stuff. So maybe this is not the worst. So if that's the case, this actually would be a really good hand to draw the I've Got a Plan card or whatever it's called. Because we could thwart. We are at 3 Spider Bites here. This does 4 damage with Overkill, which is awkward. So we're probably gonna have to pick our fight a bit tactically. So I'm assuming we're gonna clear the acceleration one, because let alone the text on this is terrible. So we have to thwart for 3. We can clear that. Spider Bite can deal 1 damage, and then we can Particle Cannon for 4. If we had any more damage here, it'd be okay, but we don't. So that's a bit of a bummer. I don't think we're gonna spend our 2 physicals. I think we're gonna go just jump down and play this, which means we can sell the empty battery pack probably, right? Because we'll have a Particle Cannon on this. So if that's the case, the things that we have to do in hero mode is thwart and use a cannon. So I think we'll just commit to that. So we'll thwart for 3. This thing clears. We saw 1 advance, so that's kind of useful. As much as you can use this as an advanced protection. We will Spider Bite for 1 damage off an ultimate Bioservant, taking the toughness. Was that better than blocking with her? I'm not 100% sure. We won't have a time to recover. That's the issue. Maybe we have to stay down 1 turn because we don't have any energy barriers and we only have 3 health and these things are going to be attacking us. Oh, we'll have toughness. Okay, hold on. If that's the case, we will battery pack to charge this. We will Particle Cannon to deal 4 damage to this thing, the one that's accessible. So we'll do 4 damage to this. No overkill, unfortunately. Before we jump down, we have nothing good to do with the salvage. We have literally no tech cards in our bin. We could throw at the battery pack first, but this plays that. I think we throw out the battery pack. The thing is, like, I don't want to salvage the battery pack to the top of the deck because it's not the best card that we could draw here. We want to draw anything, any ally here would be really good. Any sort of damage mitigation would be really good. So the only tech card that we could get in our bin here is maybe this, but I don't think we want to. Notably, salvage is not forced, so you don't have to do it. So I think I'll salvage for the hidden base. This card is really good. Now gives us a good reason to jump down. So it comes in with 3 counters, and after we jump down to Alter Ego, we can exhaust this and take a counter off. Not a tech card, so you can't charge it. But it gives us a toughness, which is good, because Zola does hit for 2 in a card. I think that's all we're going to do here. We're going to jump down. We'll exhaust this to generate a toughness. We will go ahead and use our Alter Ego to sell the battery pack. Draw 2. Gem is okay. Another salvage is okay. Not amazing, but okay. So, yeah, we're wasting cards again. So I'm going to do Ingenuity and salvage for Gemma. I'm not going to use a salvage because I don't think we want to draw to the battery pack. If this was instead Fitz, we'd be in a much better spot. So we have to pay full sticker price for Gemma. She comes in and allows us to generate a mental for a tech card. Our hand has a tech card. We're going to do physical for ready for fight. And we're just going to do Gemma because we can for another battery pack. In theory, with the reload, there's a reason to keep the full loaded battery pack. Comes in with 2 counters. We can also just go ahead and exhaust it to add it to the Particle Cannon. It's a bit overkill, but it might be all right. Because how many reloads are left? Yeah, it doesn't really matter because this is the thing. Like, actually, the more you think about it, reload with battery pack doesn't really work. Because say that next turn we shoot the thing, then we reload, we move this to that. Like, it's okay, but if we use the battery pack here, it's the same thing, right? I lost those 2 cards. I have no clue where they went. Oh, that's such a bummer because they're such flexible cards. Ah, sorry to hear that. I would definitely just proxy them. I will reload the Particle Cannon and not reload, but battery pack it. And I'll pass. We have to jump up here. So we're going to take 1 damage. We are at risk of losing the game. If we get attacked by Zola, I think we're cooked. Practice plan. Prof X. We definitely need Prof X to jump down and lick our wounds. Groot's good. We need to draw allies. Strength is nice. We can get rid of the armor. And reload is there as well. Ugh. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like you don't draw tempo. And if your value engine is not keeping up, you're in a bad spot. 4. I think drawing Schadenfreude would fix everything, but unfortunately not. Zola either schemes for 3 in a card, which very easily loses the game. So we're ready for fight. We'll flip up and we'll tank it to the face. Technically, if we defend here and take no damage, we keep the toughness, but obviously with 1 block, that's not happening. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, under fire, huge boost, great toughness use, let alone not drawing that card. And then the ultimate bioservant attacks us for 1. We'll just take it. Hopefully it's not an attack or we lose. It's an advance, so we probably lose anyways. The villain schemes, so we need a low boost. 3, 4, good game. Beans. Yeah. Notice how for 2 turns, we were just treading water. We were not able to progress forward. And admittedly, some of this is deck building. But again, there's just so many cards in our deck that don't produce forward momentum. And when we cycled our deck, we drew into so many of them. Right? Like out of the last 12 cards we drew, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them don't generate any forward momentum. This is the Rocket issue. Again, some of this is deck building. A lot of these are aspect cards or cards we chose. But yeah, that's a loss for us, unfortunately. Let's run it back. We didn't get our resource generators. We stuck 1 ally all game. I think that would help us. And because of the board state situation, we had to let this go up. Not great. Feel like Rocket's been clunkier than other heroes you've played? Yeah, definitely clunky. But an old design. Groot and Rocket are definitely clunky, but I think they're fascinating. Because when they work, they're really fun. But it's also like they have really strong downsides, which are what I'm pointing out. And so it's interesting to deck build around them. Unfortunately, this is maybe not the best showcase of deck building around them, because I think a lot of our choices actually accentuate our downsides. But yeah. Again, notice how many cards we drew have no forward momentum. It's you can feel it. You can definitely feel it. All right, let's re-rack. We definitely can get this though. I think it took me 2 tries to beat Zola last time I played this. Kind of surprised to see protection on Rocket. I feel like he might enjoy a similar setup to Tigra or Winter Soldier, where ability not being once per turn. It's just hard though. Like, so Rocket Raccoon, I believe the precon was an aggression deck, which makes a lot of sense. The issue is like he doesn't have any cards in his toolkit that help him do the sort of thing that Tigra or Winter Soldier want to do in solo. I think playing Rocket Aggression is probably really fun in multiplayer because you just deal with the allies and drawing cards. I think if you're playing tech, which is the kind of thing you want to do, you're kind of pigeonholed into protection because it's very countable how many tech cards there are in every aspect. I think Justice has like 2, like probably 2, like Prism Dust, maybe Invisibility Suit is 1, but then like you have the Confuse Gun. Maybe there's 3 in tech. Rocket Protection is amazing. I'm interested to see how Ready for a Fight works. Ready for a Fight is really, really good because you can jump down and discard a tech card to draw 2. It's like super, super consistent. It's a nice loop. Greater Rocket really benefit from having a full table of Guardians picking up the slack, but old design is old design. Yeah, it's like, I don't mind the old design. I think it's really cool to see what they've learned, but you can see how many of these cards you don't think would be printed the same way. It's just so wild to have a 1 attack character that has overkill, but it kind of makes sense in context. Do you have any of the green tech cards in it? We have, I wouldn't say all the green tech cards, but nearly all the green tech cards. We can't play any of the protection green tech cards like electrostatic armor and stuff like that because we're not blocking. So you're kind of like pushed out of that card pool. We are not playing the energy force field on 3 cost, but it's not the worst. The problem with energy force field is that it's forced. So the counters come off of it whether you want them or not. That's an interesting angle. You could, in theory, consider playing a stun gun. I actually think stun gun's not bad, and stun gun might be. And you notice how we talked about, and this is what I mean. Last I played this deck, I did not play an 3 energy shields. I played 2 and 1 stun gun. And stun gun's actually a card that could get us out of the holes that we find ourselves in, where like we just need some recovery. And energy shield is a card that when you draw it does nothing. And that's a big chance why you don't want to play 3 energy shields. Like maybe we should try stun gun. Hey Forrest, I love Groot, but haven't found a way to play him reliably out of Justice. I agree. I think I have experienced the exact same thing. Justice Groot is like kind of quite fun because you need the Confuse to jump down. It's maybe worth revisiting, but I think the biggest problem with Groot is like the forced response toughness, like that priority schema is really bad for Groot when you think about it. Groot's design is also really ugly because he doesn't do anything when you don't have counters. And those are the games that you're losing, right? Like when you lose so bad because you don't have counters, so your cards don't do anything. And then the games where you can preserve your counters, then you're like kind of cromulent, but you're always teetering on the edge of ruin. Groot's weird, man. Groot's really, really strange. Stun gun seems really cool for Rocket's tiny health pool. The problem with stun gun is that it's a uses. Like it seems good, but it's not perfect. Right? Like stunning minions is okay because sometimes you don't draw on your weapons and your weapons are the only way you can interact favorably with minions. But the problem with stun gun is if you use the 2 charges on it to knock out Zola or to stun Zola, it discards itself. So then you don't have any of the tech synergies, let alone it's restricted, which means it like conflicts for slots. And in theory, our slots are also crowded. It's like, the more you think about it, the worse it seems. But it's definitely a neat tech card. Let's just say that. Gonna hop out and do some editing, but good luck. Yeah, enjoy your editing. Hopefully the Da Vinci experience has been good. Star-Lord is so wild and solo with the Cyclops ally. If you can figure it out. Cyclops ally, the one that says do 1 more damage. I know there's huge like not even solo, not only solo, excuse me, like Star-Lord fans. I think I appreciated him more like last I played him, but has never been my favorite. All right, we have to go get test subjects. We're back to Zola. Villain, Zola 2, 16 health. Not a huge health pool on Zola. Like you can rush down Zola. The minions don't have guard inherently, and 14 to 16 health pool. Sorry, 14 health pool. It's not a lot for expert. So if you just like start doing 8s to Zola, you win. This starts at nothing. Stun gun is excellent in the AOS expansion. I've never played it and liked it. I don't know. I'm not a big stun gun fan. I think 2 for a stun is like kind of fine. Maybe even if you have research generators, but I've never felt. Oh, hold on, I have to get test subjects. I've never enjoyed stun gun. How can you sell me on it? All right, re-rack. Island of Zola. It gets tests. It gets test counters. Test subjects has 2 test counters. When you defeat it, you have to discard into reveal a minion. All right, and we're at 9 health. Recover 7. I do like the tech synergy package a lot. Like I like Fitzsimmons a lot. We didn't get it going. It's really good. I think that's another big reason why we might be over evaluating Ready for a Fight, because Ready for a Fight's only better and better if you have specifically Leo Fitz, because then when you jump down, you go up 3 cards instead of 2. And I think that matters a lot because Leo means you can always get the tech card you need. I wonder if we should prioritize getting Leo down. Okay. It's just like Rocket is one of those characters where if we could remove some of his hero cards, the deck would be better. There's not a lot of characters you can say that modernly, but there's a lot of hero cards I wish I could take out. I wonder what character would be the best if you remove the most, like what hero would be better with the most amount of their own hero cards removed from their set. I just finished a whole campaign with Scarlet Witch. Oh my god, the Scarlet Witch cards are so fun. Like I dropped a reload. I dropped a reload on the floor if I didn't pick it up. I think we're in a better spot. Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sorry, in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box, stun gun is good. I agree with that. Yes. Yeah, vulnerable is important. If you have cheap stun or confuse, like I was playing a Scarlet Witch, mind you, through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box, and I like put Eros in there, and I was so happy with it. I put who's the 4-cost tooth stun? The flying guy, the glider. Having a 1 of weapon when lock and load gets off is good to have. Oh, in multiplayer, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, if someone has lock and load, you might as well put a weapon in your deck. Yeah, in 4-player, yeah, that makes sense to me. All right, round 2, let's go. Energy shield. So immediately this is technically 2 cards. So we could keep it on the mulligan, just discard it to draw 2. I mean, technically it's fine. Repurpose. You want this later. Probably not keeping that. Rocket launcher. Okay, this is what we started in the last one. It's actually a pretty good start, especially with the double, because we're gonna have 2 minions. So I think we do always keep this. Salvage. Okay, double. We'll keep any double in our opening hand. Leo Fitz. Okay, so Leo Fitz is really quite good. Because if you play Leo Fitz, you can go get a card, and then every time we jump down to alter ego for the rest of the game, we can go get a card, because there's enough tech cards, we'll find something in our deck. If you get an energy shield, again, you're +2 off of that, which is great. Banshee, yeah, I'm thinking Banshee. Banshee, I played in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh my god, Banshee is so good with vulnerable everywhere. Besides the last scenario where there's a patrol character with vulnerable, that one sucked. That one made Banshee a lot worse. Problem with Leo Fitz is we have to spend 4 cards on this to get 1 card. So I'll put in the maybe camp. If we draw a double here, we don't. We draw Ready for a Fight, which I don't think we keep any of these, right? Because we're going to have 6 cards. Well, hold on. If we keep this, we have 2 more cards. So if we pay those 2 cards, hold on. I need to represent this abstractly. So if we keep just this, so no, if we keep these 4, then we get 2 more. We play Energy Shield. We go up functionally 1 card. We play 3 for Leo Fitz. Leo Fitz gets a card. That card plus salvage plays Rocket Launcher. We could do it, but it's not amazing. But we could do it. I think as soon as we draw our pistol, we're in a better spot. But I think we do just keep these 4 and then see what the Leo Fitz start looks like. So we'll just draw 6 from here. I was upset that Angel didn't have the X-Men trait. Oh yeah, he's like X-Force, right? Just like that whole wave. Yeah. Yeah, it is weird. It was a surprise too. I put a bunch of X-Men cards in it and it's like, wait a second. Salvage. Okay, this play got a lot better. Particle cannon. Okay, this play got a lot more interesting. So now we have 2 of our big guns, which are the ones, this one can give us overkill the easiest. So that's good. We have 2 salvages. I mean, what a weird hand, but this seems like it should play pretty smooth. So I think no matter what, we drop Energy Shield and we immediately alter ego to draw 2 cards. Give us 2 doubles. Pistol, Energy Barrier. Energy Barriers are really good in this deck, especially because of Tough and what's it called? Retaliate, as much as we haven't shown it off yet. So if we want to play all the guns, we can. It's hard, but it's possible. Well, not all of them because we run out of slots, but we can play a lot of them. So one of the options is we could go get Leo. Leo can go get a card. That card plus salvage can play the particle cannon, or sorry, the rocket launcher. We can put the particle cannon on top of our deck, and then we can just play the pistol. I think that works. Hold on. Is that correct? So we play 3 for Leo. Leo gets a card. Then we do salvage plus particle cannon. This is what I don't, this is, oh, I'm peeking on the microphone. Excuse me. This is what I don't know. So when you play salvage, I guess it won't matter. It says after you spend this card, put a tech upgrade from your discard pile on top of your deck. If you pitch 2 cards at the same time, are they resolving or do they go straight into your bin? So if I pitch salvage and particle cannon, can I use the salvage to take the particle cannon on top of the deck? At the end of the day, it won't matter because I can just pitch it for Leo, but does it work like that? We also can use salvage to shuffle a tech card into our deck, which I don't think we will. But I think that's a line, right? So Leo Fitz plus salvage. This gets us a card. What am I doing? wait. What am I doing? We're on this cards. No. No, this should be a card. This is one of our cards in our hand, right? Salvage. Yeah, this is our hand. Yeah, Energy Barrier. This is our hand. Okay, excuse me. So we do salvage plus the big gun. We pitch those for Leo. Leo draws a card. So this is our hand. Am I doing this right? What? We should be on 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm doing it right. Then we do salvage plus Energy Barrier for this gun. We put the cannon on top of our deck. Why is this so hard? I think I'm going to commit to it. I think we can do it. So do salvage plus anything for Leo Fitz. There's no way in this game to give yourself a shield trait unless you are a shield or someone else on the table is shield, from my understanding. So that's that. We're not going to use salvage here. F it. Let's put the Energy Barrier back in our deck. Let's do it. Oh, no, because then we have to know if the wording works the way that we think it does. We'll exhaust Leo Fitz, and we'll search our deck for a tech card. We're just going to get any tech card out. Not an important one. So I guess we're going to get our another Energy Shield, which I don't think we're excited to draw. We'll just add it to our hand. I think I'm short a card here. I think this is still what we want to do, but I think we are short a card. Then we'll do, no, we're fine. We'll flip up. With ward for 2, clearing test subjects. So now we have to discard until we reveal a minion. So let's go. Mind Ray. It's a mutant. Oh, this is the worst one. This is what happened last game. We'll be fine. Zola's mutate. Okay. So 5 health. When defeated, discard cards until you get an encounter card. That's a tech attachment. And attach that card to Zola's mutate. So let's go. All right, 2 Mind Rays are out, Gang Up is out, and Advance is out. That's really important. So it looks like we're going to get a big Zola's Mutate. So 7 hit points, attacks for 4. I think that's really quite bad. I would say that's really quite bad. Neurological implants, +2 hit points. That is the closest the text gets to the left side in any version of any card in this game. So now we're at 4 attack, 7 health. That's really bad. When I lose track of Marble Champions for a second, reminds me of that scene from I Heart Huckabees. I haven't seen that film. 4 damage. The most we can do is 6 damage. That's awful. Oh my god, that's huge. Okay. So we're gonna do. Oh, hold on. When we pitched the energy barrier for the salvage, sorry, we were meant to pitch the big gun. We were meant to pitch the big 4 damage gun. That was the point. Because now, when we play this salvage plus this energy barrier for this rocket launcher, we can use salvage to guarantee this cannon's on top of our deck. Sorry, that's what we're planning to do. Rocket launcher here. So it comes in with 2 charges. I don't think we can die on turn 1. 5, 9. No, we could die on this turn. Yeah, we might lose turn 1. We might lose turn 1. Do we have to do the energy shield instead of the energy pistol? Because Zola can attack for 5. This attacks for 4. This attacks for 1. Like, if we get 3 boost, we're cooked. Like 7 health, 4 attack. Like, this is the nightmare for Rocket. Is a 7 health minion on turn 1 is impossible to deal with. If we play energy shield, like, we have a panic button, but then we don't have their pistol. I'm just going to commit to the pistol. Like, if we get cooked here, we'll just like reset. That's fine. We'll just do another run at it. But yeah, that was a really bad start, I think. So we'll get the pistol. The most damage we could have done is 6. Here we're doing 4. But that's fine because we'll get it next turn. We'll exhaust the rocket launcher. So we do 2 damage to everything. Toughness 2. Villain takes 2. And then we'll do our pistol, which does 2. And we know we're going to draw overkill next turn. We have to use the rocket launcher first. So ideally we draw a repurpose here because we're going to run out of slots unless we draw our slot grabber. Have you ever transcended space and time? No. Yes. Time, not space. I don't know what you're talking about. I believe that you can use the salvage ability on a card you paid along with it because the wording is after you spend this card. Oh, okay. So you spend everything and then it fires? Interesting. That might make sense. I've got a plan. Practiced plan. Strength. Schadenfreude. Turn 2 Schadenfreude. We've got that twice in a row. That if we don't die here, that's the best recovery. Goes to 1. We get 1 test counter. Zola attacks for 2 in a card. If this is a 3 boost, we're in a bad spot. It's a 1 boost. So we'll take 3. We'll take 4. We'll take 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. If we draw the card, if we draw Concussive Blast here, it's over. There's so many cards that it's over here. I mean, that's bad too. Attach to the minion with the most remaining hit points without another copy of this. Ultimate Bioservant also gets additional attack for each attachment on it. So he's technically 4 attack. We have 2 4 attack minions on turn 1. We'll be fine. We survived that turn. We'll be fine. Wait, we're short a resource to play Schadenfreude? No, we'll overkill. Yeah, we'll be fine. Strength plus I've got a plan. Sorry, strength for Schadenfreude. It's after you spend this card. Okay, cool. So until the end of the turn, heal 2 damage from Rocket every time you deal any amount of damage. So we need to do overkill damage. So we'll pistol Zola's mutate for 2. So we recover 2. Then we'll rocket launcher. We recover 2, we recover 2, we recover 2. Full health. We defeat the mutate. Zola takes 2, and because we did overkill, we draw a card. I've got a plan. We're going to claw this back. Very easily, even. We can now drop 3 for the particle cannon. So I want to check how many energy shields we have left. We have 1 in the deck, so we could grab it with Leo Fitz, in theory, and then just like get out, let alone play it and draw 2. Ideally, we draw a 1-cost card. That'd be sick. So we'll play the particle cannon, which discards this. Is this what we want to do? We're going to jump down and hope that Zola gets a small boost. If Zola gets a small boost, we're in an okay spot. So I think we're just going to use the cannon. Deal 4 damage to this Bioservant, knocking it out. We don't heal because we're at full health. And then we'll just... We could thwart for 2. Yeah, what else are we doing? I guess we're thwarting for 2. No. We won't. We'll attack for 1 into the Bioservant. Then when we do 4 damage to the Barlocal Cannon, we get overkill. So we do 1 to Zola. And then we can draw a card. Gamora. Nice. We need allies. Okay. Then we'll jump down. I didn't pay for this cannon, did I? I did not. No, I didn't. I played this cannon for free. I did not pay for it. Excuse me. So we have to do that. Then we'll use Leo. We'll search our deck for a tech card. So we're going to go for the 0 cost one. Because we're just going to play it immediately and then discard it with an alter ego ability to draw 2. I mean, that was good. Some of that was because we set it up. Like we made sure that we were going to get the big gun on this turn. Schadenfreude was the perfect draw. Heal 8 in a single turn while doing your stuff is pretty good. And now we draw 2 cards. We draw Repurpose, useless, and Professor X, useless. So this hand's no good. We could play Professor X. We'll hold Professor X. Gamora is going to be only so good. We don't need the Repurpose. I think we hold on to Professor X and nothing else. We're going to be +1 tech card next turn, and we're just going to maybe let this scheme out. If this schemes out, we don't need Professor X, but if this doesn't scheme out, we need Professor X. So it's also a nice time to scheme out because it'll be at 2 counters. My guess is we don't hold on to it. Yeah, let's hold on to it. Worst case scenario is just a dead card in our hand. Gamora might be a bit better on average, but in terms of our events, we only have 8 events. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's only 3 events in our deck. So I'll hold on to the Professor. We'll draw to 6. We have Hidden Base. Okay. So we have good reasons to jump down. There's a Repurpose. Ready for fight. It's good to have more of those. Not you. Reload. Love it. So we have like 2 events in our deck left. 1 event and an Energy Barrier, which at this point is worth playing. Card's really good. Keeps you alive. We like to be alive. All right, this goes to 2. This goes to 2. Zola Scheme, small boost, 1, 2. No boost, assault. This goes to 4. Perfect. 1 encounter card. Ultimate Bioservant. That might be really good for us because now there's something we can defeat. We have a bit of work to do because we have the toughness, but we can't get the overkill damage. I honestly think, yeah, this is good. This is a much better start. Let's use Leo. So we can search our deck and discard pile. Or sorry, just our deck for any tech card. This pistol's going to be empty. I think if we were just going to get a cheap tech card here, it would probably be one of our setup cards or just for the battery pack. Battery pack for particle cannon seems like a nice thing to do. So I think we'll just go for the battery pack. Probably should look at our hand and see exactly like how many resources we have extra. So I don't think we have any doubles in our hand. But yeah, battery pack's almost always good. Okay. Nice. I don't think we have to play most of these cards, so we'll be fine. We'll flip up. Before we commit cards, I think we're going to attack for 1 and get our overkill cards. So unfortunately, we're using a lot of charge counters just to knock us out and get overkill. That might be wrong, but we have no way to do cheap damage here. So basically, we can waste 2 damage to draw 1 card. I don't think that actually is worth it. Unless our hand is like really ugly, because we'll do this into 1, 2, 3. We'll play that. So we draw 1 more card. It could be a physical, which means we can play Ready for Fight. Or if it's a double, we can play Hidden Base. How many doubles are left? 2. I'll take a shot at it. That's more fun. So we'll attack for 2. This also does a bit of damage, mind you, to our friend here. Then we'll do Particle Cannon. So it's 4 damage with overkill. So Zola takes 2. That's us. That's Zola. And because we defeated something with overkill damage, we draw a card. It's a double. Oh, it's a Spider Bite. That's a good draw. Not exactly a resource, but she's going to be free. That's actually really good. Okay. Physical check. We have none. So this Ready for Fight is as good as anything. So we're going to pitch that for a battery pack. So with battery pack here, we probably should use it now, just so that we can use it next turn and empty it. So we'll do that before we end our turn. We'll pitch 1, 2. We could get rid of the pistol to like thwart for 3 or attack for 3. I don't think it's a big deal because we're going to play our Professor. So we'll play the Professor. We can keep one card in our hand actually next turn. I think keeping hidden base is fine. Ready for fight's also an easy keep if we have more ready for fights in the deck. We only have one, so I won't keep it because it's hard to play. We'll play Prof X. We'll confuse Zola. Functionally, we'll block with Prof X. We'll exhaust him to thwart for 2. We're going to get a minion as well. This goes down to 1. With 3 tech cards, we'll play Spider Bite. I don't think I'm going to use her here until we get full value, let alone we can use her to knock a toughness off. That's not bad at all. But we're healthy. And then I'll hold on to hidden base, I think. I think it's good enough. So we'll just use battery pack to charge the cannon. It doesn't unexhaust it, excuse me. It just charges a tech card. And we'll pass. Much more interesting start. We have way more moving pieces that seem synergistic. Leo Fitz seemed really important on turn 1 to give us some agency. We'll drop. 2. Cybernetic Skeleton, +1 attack, +3 health. Last ready for a fight. Okay, bummer. Let's see if we draw a physical here. Thruster Boots. So those are 2 really important setup cards. Ready for fights are probably worth holding on to, maybe more than hidden base, because jumping down with Leo Fitz is good. As much as when you get low to your deck, you might not have tech cards. All right, we really want to go down to Alter Ego because of Ingenuity. So with the Confuse, yeah, we will go down to. So bummer that hidden base is going to be expensive to play. I don't know if we need to play the Thruster Boots, but we might just play hidden base and jump down. The Confuse should be easy. This goes to 2, goes to 3. So just to show you the Island of Dr. Zola, we're going to discard cards until we find a minion. We're going to not reveal it. We'll put into play. Mutate. Oh, that's a bad one. That's a lot of damage. Okay. This is functionally take 4, right? Because it'll attack you twice. It'll attack now when it's put into play. Because Quick Strike is not attached to reveal. It's attached to engage, if I'm not mistaken. So take 2. We're not going to block for it. Then it's Zola. So Zola is going to attack. For 2 and a card, we'll block with the Professor. 1, 2, 3, 4 shadows. Okay, good to go. I love this hidden base. It's really good. It gets you like, I feel like for me, it's putting me in these weird kind of loops where I always jump down to Alter Ego, whether or not it's the good plan or not. I mean, that's not a good thing to do, but it's up to me to watch out for that. Berserk Mutate attacks again. We'll just take it. Down to 5. Counter card. Technological advancements. So this is okay. It insights 1, we'll place the test counter. All right. Hey, this thing dies like the rest of them and draws a card. In fact, why not? We'll just go ahead and particle cannon it. So we'll deal 4 damage. So we've attacked Zola 0 times. It's already on like half health, more than half health. So the villain will take 1. And we did overkill, so we draw a card. Groot. Cool. That's a wild. I believe all of them? No, not all of them. Why Groot? And I think Rocket Raccoon in Basics the same way. They have a wild, which is like really, really quite cool. So, okay. We have a Confuse. We want to jump down to play Ingenuity to use Leo. I'm pretty sure we have tech cards in our deck. We have a pistol. We have a battery pack. We definitely do. And then we can empty this battery pack. So this is why Confuse and jumping down is so good. And maybe I'd recommend playing, you know, Confuse Sonic Rifle in Justice and play something cool out of Rocket. I could see that making a lot of sense. But there's so many good reasons to jump down here. So I think we want to play hidden base sooner than anything. So I'm going to just pitch ready for a fight. And I don't think we need thruster boots. I don't think there's any way we play Groot. So I'll throw out these 2. And we'll play hidden base. So this comes in with 3 counters. And then when we jump down to Alter Ego, we can remove 1 for a toughness and exhaust this. Well, in theory, we don't have to Spider Bite right now. So we're going to use the battery pack, which you can do on both sides. It's just an action. And we'll just charge the cannon. We will, I think we're going to use Spider Bite on this. So we're going to hop down and recover. So we'll hop down. We can exhaust this thing to give us a toughness. In Alter Ego, we're going to sell our battery pack to draw 2 cards. Oh, in theory, before we do that, let's Leo so that we don't draw the card that we would have Leo'd first. So we're going to go grab a tech card, shuffle, and grab a tech card. So we'll take out, I guess we'll take out another battery pack. They make someone happier than giving them a tough status with Mr. Courage. Wait, who's Mr. Courage? Then we'll trash this. Oh, Muster Courage? What is that? That's some sort of leadership card? Muster Courage. Play only if your identity has the Avenger trait. Give up to X friendly characters a tough status card to a maximum of 3, where X is equal to the villain stage number. These cards, the cards that care about stage numbers, which are mostly Avengers cards, I think, they're a lot better when you play Expert, what's it called? Civil War, where they have stage 3 and stage 4, right? Like 4 tough status for 3 is something. I have never played this card. I do think it's a multiplayer card. We draw Energy Barrier. We draw Side Holster. Side Holster is perfect. Okay. Ingenuity is a priority here. So I will pitch 1-2 for Ingenuity. We're a genius. We'll exhaust it to play Battery Pack? I don't think so. I think we'll just put on our skeleton. Are we decking out? Yeah, we are. Battery Pack is good. We can hold on to this. We could just play Battery Pack, Side Holster, and hold on to this to next turn. That might be fine. Because playing the Battery Pack here is really good because we can empty it, and then we can have something to trash next turn organically. So I'll use Ingenuity instead for Battery Pack. I think that's just a bit better. It's Wild and Civil War. Yeah, I was considering it. I didn't know if it was going to come off as cheesy, but having like a 3 and a 4 on turn, like, you know, immediately you have a 3 at least. That's really good. I guess Apocalypse is like that too sometimes. So we'll exhaust this to charge. Let's spread it out so we can use both of them. Where are you? We'll charge the pistol. We can't use it. It's a hero action. Then we'll just go play our Side Holster, which gives us another restricted slot, and we'll recover for 3. All right, we'll pass. Oh, sorry, before we pass, Spider Bite, and then we'll pass. So we're still going to deck out, which is good because Leo Fitz wants the tech cards in the bin. We'll hold on to the Cybernetic Skeleton, which gives us +1 attack and +3 health, and we'll draw the rest. Genius. Useless reload. Gemma's good. Oh, yeah, we're totally decking out. And Energy, really nice now Gemma play, and a Rocket's Pistol. That's a great hand. We have just decked out, though, so we're going to get an encounter card. That means our double is going to miss the loop, but I think otherwise we're okay. We're drinking NOS energy drink with silver tequila. A lot of cards you can draw. All right. We should be good here. 2 encounter cards is a bit sketch, but I think we're in a good spot. Okay. We're going to shuffle this in a second. This goes to 2, goes to 2. Zola with Scheme. It's confused. 2 encounter cards. I don't think there's a lot of steady in Rise of Red Skull. Zola's Mutate. Okay, bummer. This has a reveal, so we're going to reveal this. This is the one that you want to put in play. So 5 health to start, but now you have to discard cards until we have an attachment, and then we attach it to this. All right, easy. Defensive programming. So gets +2 hit points on guard. Not the worst. We don't really attack Zola a lot. Second card, Master Plan. This is why we don't care about this thing. Remember this thing here? All it does is take Master Plans. Puts 4 threats on every side scheme. Who cares? It's us. Okay, Spider Bite missed the cycle. Here, we need Knockout Mutate. We have currently, without reload, we have 4, 5, 6 damage. So we can get there with Spider Bite. We can get there with ourselves. We can also go get another gun, which I think we will. Our last pistol's in our hand, so we could get the AoE gun, which is okay. Sounds like a battery pack in glass. Sorry, Forrest. What are we drinking? Oh, this. NOS energy drink and silver tequila. This is Kokta? Nobody knows what this is. It's a herbal cola that's been made in Slovenia, technically Yugoslavia back in the day. It's really nice. I'm not sure if there's any caffeine in it, but it has to be imported. It's I don't drink a lot of soda, but I do drink Kokta. We're gonna use Leo. We have a lot of options here. We could use Leo after we empty the battery pack and draw 2. Leo gets any tech card here. Let's see if there's anything that's really good. My guess, cheap energy shield, but we already have something to discard. Energy barrier is probably okay. +1 thwart doesn't really matter here. Rocket launcher is okay, but again, the table doesn't need it. Another battery pack is like so reasonable. I think we're just gonna do energy barrier. I think we have the resources to play it. Probably do. We're at 8 health. We can go up +2. Ah, no, this is kind of expensive. This actually might be a turn where we use Leo after we get rid of the battery pack, just because we should be more responsive to what we draw with the rocket ability. Because energy is probably only good to keep if we have another double in our hand. We have 2 doubles though. Maybe we should be fine. Okay. Battery pack. We'll empty it to reload the particle cannon, and then we'll just sell it. Draw 2. Gamora. I've got a plan. Okay, that's fine. We'll do a double plus ingenuity to play Gemma Simmons. So 3-cost research generator, which is honestly like what you'd expect in this game. But she's only for tech cards and only mental. That's good enough. Okay, what else are we playing? We can get overkill this turn, no problem. So I think we could get a new skeleton. We could get a third gun. And we could get the shield and just do all that. I guess before we do that, we should do the overkill damage. So let's just flip up. Oh, we have research generators, so that's even cheaper. Are we going to recover for 3? We're at 8 with a toughness. No, we're going to get 3 more health. We'll flip up. Here, we can do 4, 5, 6. So before we do anything, let's energy out a cybernetic skeleton. Cybernetic skeleton. So we go +1 attack, gain +3 health. So our max health is now 12. Then we're going to attack for 2. We're going to shoot for 2. All this work we get for 1 card. I mean, it's probably fine. And we'll particle cannon. So particle cannon does 4 damage with overkill. So Zola takes 1. And we draw a card because we did overkill. Repurpose. Maybe we need make a little tempo play here in advanced Zola. That might be fine. Actually, it's kind of bad because we have retaliate, and retaliate will take our toughness off. So we probably don't repurpose this turn. We will, though, use Gemma to generate a wild for another pistol. Bummer with the pistol, doesn't have range, so we're probably just going to sit on it. But yeah, losing the toughness to retaliate is like not a good spot to be in. So I don't think we do it. So actually, maybe we play instead Gamora. This is what the timing is a bit of a bummer the more you learn about it. Because I think it's very easy to think, and I know I did this when I played Groot. You'd think that you could use Energy Barrier to protect the toughness, because it says when you would take damage, redirect it, but status counters happen before interrupts. So we could play Gamora. Gamora draws a card. Gamora can use the card to play the Energy Barrier. No, that's not true. Not even close. I think we'll hold on to Gamora. So what do we think that we play all these cards? I think we just play Gamora and hold on to Energy Barrier. So we'll pitch 3 for Gamora, holding on to Energy Barrier, so we're guaranteed something to do with Gemma. Gamora's really good. She comes in with 3 health. We are a Guardian. And after she attacks or thwarts, we can discard cards if we want to until we find an event. 1, 2, 3. There's 5 events in our deck left. Out of the events that we'd want to draw here, none. Because we'd have a repurpose already if we wanted. So I think we're not going to use Gamora. We're just going to play her so we don't waste our hand. And we're going to get another minion in play. I think that's fine. If it has Quick Strike, we're a bit annoyed because we lose our toughness to it. I don't think we will. So I think we're just going to use Spider Bite to clear this so that we don't advance to an advance. And we'll pass. Yeah, that's everything. We're going to advance Zola next turn. Yeah. Maybe we'll draw a card too. Schadenfreude. Okay. No damage to take. Thruster Boots is cheap. Energy Shield is fine. We can keep Gamora around, and a Strength on a double. Not a great hand. Hopefully Gamora gives us something. This goes to 1. This goes to 3. So we discard until we get a minion, and we put it into play. Good to lose an exhaustion. It's a Bioservant. This thing has toughness. It's nice to have the what's it called? The energy barrier, just to take toughness off of these things. I think there's 4 of these, and I think there's like 4 of every minion. Maybe it's 4, 4, 3. But 4 health. Okay. Zola now attacks. For 2 in a card, we have toughness. We'll just take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under fire, hitting a toughness. Second time that's happened. That's sick. Ultimate Bioservant attacks us for 1. We'll take it to the face. So we'll take 1. Encounter card is, there's the 1. So we don't have our AoE gun here, but Berserk Mutate quick strikes us for 2. We'll take it. Okay, this might be a good turn to get a repurpose if we had one. But it's back to us. We have 4 damage with overkill, 2 damage shot. We can attack to take the toughness off. Our hand has no direct damage. I think we play Schadenfreude just to get us healing. We can easily get up to 12. It leaves us with this, which we can play. Oh, mind you, Leo's ready, Ingenuity's ready, Gemma's ready. So we have a couple research generators we can use here. I don't think we're going to be jumping down. We could also like attach the energy shield to Gamora to keep her healthy, but it's like, this is what I mean. It doesn't feel like a priority. We're spending 2 cards to keep Gamora around for like maybe 1 or 2 more turns. It just doesn't seem good. But we'll play Schadenfreude. So whenever we do damage, heal 2. It might be right to preserve the physical in case we draw ready for a plan. Sorry, prepared for fight, because we don't have a lot of physicals. That might be correct. So instead of paying this strength, no, we could consider playing all of these. That's fine. All right, let's do some damage. So first thing, how much damage can we possibly do? No matter what, we're going to lose damage to the Bioservant. I guess we'll start with the Particle Cannon. We'll shoot 4 into the Berserk Mutate. It's dead. Overkill goes 1 into the villain. We draw a card. It's a reload. Useless garbage. Man, this is what I don't get. It's like, what board state is this actually mattering? It doesn't make any sense. Give me more tech upgrades that I can exhaust that don't have charges. Anyways, okay. So now we could maybe deal with the Bioservant. Well, we recover 2. That seems nice. We're at 10 of 12. I think we can now just attack with Gamora. It doesn't really matter. We need to do the overkill defeating, but we have no overkill damage here. So it's not going to happen. So we could defeat the Bioservant. That's the best case, but we can't do overkill because we have 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. So there's no way to get there. I wonder if there's a better order. Regardless, I think we will still do it. So we'll attack with Gamora. So she attacks for 2. We'll choose to do her response. It's optional. So we discard until we get an event. Ooh, okay, we can do it now. We got to repurpose. So that means we can discard something like a pistol to give us more damage, and that seems quite nice. We also can like redirect. Energy Barrier is so nice because it can return Zola's damage to Zola, which is really quite cool, or to Ultimate Bioservant. So there has to be a good line here. So no matter what we do, Gemma, plus let's say Ingenuity for the Energy Barrier. Because now no matter what we attack, or sorry, more accurately, when we attack Zola, we can redirect the damage and set up an overkill. Can we overkill Zola? Not super easily. So we'll attack for 2 into Zola. Villain takes 2. Villain has Retaliate. Retaliate would do damage to us. Energy Barrier will interrupt. We'll remove a counter to do damage to the Bioservant. Is this correct? Yeah, kind of. Well, Energy Pistol to Ultimate Bioservant for 2. Mind you, we're at full health at this point, so we'll recover 2. Do you think you need a ready exhaustion token on Energy Barrier? No, it doesn't exhaust, does it? Oh, yeah, you're right. I did pull in there. Yeah, it doesn't exhaust, 100%. It does not exhaust. You can use it as much as you want, as much as it's only 1 per instance. But yeah, good catch. I definitely would have used it again this turn for Zola, but yeah, you don't need one. Okay, I think we're going to repurpose now. We're going to sell this pistol. So we're going to give ourselves +1 attack. We're on 3 attack. So we can overkill Zola, or we can overkill the Bioservant. I think we're going to overkill Zola. So here we're going to attack into Zola. I'm not sure what... I think Zola pulls a minion, though. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Zola pulls a minion. We might be able to reload our pistol into that. We'll be fine. So discard a tech card. We'll give ourselves +1 attack, so we're 3 attack. We're now ready. And then we'll attack into Zola for 3. So Zola is defeated. We did overkill, so we draw a card. It's ready for a fight. So fortunately, we didn't keep the physical. Zola advances. Retaliate, 16 health. When revealed, each player searches in counter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. So you have to do the full reveal text. Mind you, Retaliate will happen after this. So we have a pending Retaliate trigger, which means if we do the Berserk Mutate here, we're kind of okay. I think that's what we do. So we'll reveal the Berserk Mutate from the bin. Berserk Mutate will attack Quick Strike for 3. We'll just take it. We're not going to Energy Barrier it. We'll just take it. So we go down 2. Then off the Retaliate from Zola, we'll Energy Barrier to deal 1 to Ultimate Bioservant. We have dealt damage, so we can recover 2 with the Schadenfreude that's still firing, so we'll fully recover again. We attacked. Yeah, that was a basic attack, so we're exhausted. And now we just have the Mutate in front of us. If we tactically jump down, this will almost guarantee to advance. But we could say that we don't care. That's like a cool thing. We might not care. I could see us not caring. That might be okay because we have so many things to do when we jump down that I think just like letting this go through is either going to lose us the game or be like a really sick tempo play. This is also the bummer. Like Leo Fits allows us to search our deck and discard pile for a tech card. I don't think there's any tech card that has a physical icon on it. Our deck has one. It is the cannon. So no, actually, one of ours does. The rocket launcher has a physical, but I don't think any of the aspect tech cards and protection have a physical. I think they're all energy. Let me know if I'm missing one. I probably should do a double check, but I wish that we could use Leo to find a physical to play ready for a fight, but we can't do it consistently. Hey, Coriora, happy holidays. Thank you. Appreciate the perceived randomness of the heroes and villains you select. Is there a method to your selection process? Keep it the great content. Thank you. That's very kind. Let me show you. So the one thing that I do that I've been doing this year, for better for worse, I think it's actually been good, is that I have this like Google Drive document where I'm trying to play a campaign with every single hero. This is what I've done so far. I think I need to mark Scarlet Witch. We did finish a Scarlet Witch. We did Justice. We played through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is how I do it. We played Expert and we did Standard, not Standard 3, because we were playing on Dragon cards. So that's what I'm kind of doing, is I'm trying to play through all of the characters. So I'm revisiting older characters I haven't played in a long time. But so far at the end of this year, I've played with more than half, but not all of them. So there's a whole bunch of misses. That's what I'm trying to do. So Rocket Raccoon was a character I was excited to revisit after new protection cards, let alone new tech cards more accurately. And so this holidays, I played Rocket Raccoon and I built this deck. So I'm excited to show it off. But as a content creator, I think it's interesting to show off a bunch of different stuff to keep things interesting. But I am a bit nervous about showing older stuff that's out of print. Again, if anybody's watching this and you have like thoughts about that, please let me know. But that's the idea. And I'm glad it's appreciated, because it is a bunch of work to like always try and think of something that you think is going to be kind of interesting or entertaining to watch. Happy holidays to you as well. I think we're going to hop down tactically and say it's for the best, because we have a lot of triggers here. So we'll flip down. Hand Cannon, Laser Blaster, and Prism Dust are all tech physical. Sadly, no basic or protection, it seems. Hand Cannon is the aggression one. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I think aggression will have more physicals. Laser Blaster, is that the neutral one? Oh, this. Yeah, I that's fine. And Prism Dust, surprising that's a physical. I guess you have to get in their face. Yeah, protection has none. All the protection cards are energy traded, which like protection, it just, I think, skews more energy. But no basic or protection. Yeah, bummer. And that's the thing, is like as soon as they print a new card, it opens up like a lot of play patterns. Like Leo Fitzing always for a physical is actually kind of a big deal potentially for this deck. Anyways, we'll jump down. So we have a bunch of triggers. We hidden base, so we can toughness ourselves. I'm gonna get rid of this. Technically, we have +1 attack for the end of the round. It's not gonna matter. Okay, so that's one thing. We can Leo our deck now. I don't think there's a physical. No, we can get a physical. We'll get the rocket launcher. So we have a backup. Are we going to use this though? Yeah, we're going to use it. Both of our salvages are still in here. So either we can use the rocket launcher as a physical to play ready for a fight, or we can just play the rocket launcher, which is probably better. We are 12 health and a toughness. So either we can play ready for a fight. We can discard this energy shield to draw 2. We can just get rid of this hand cannon to draw 2. How many batteries are left? Because if we top deck a battery, we can play the battery. 1 battery's left in the deck. So I think drawing to the battery is reasonable. We could get rid of an energy barrier to draw the battery, but I think getting rid of the energy shield is fine. It leaves us with 3 resources at a minimum. So I'll play the energy shield for 0. Its text doesn't matter. All that matters is it says tech, and we'll just go ahead and tinkering it. Not a battery. Another ready for a fight. Okay, that's perfect, because now we can do ready for a fight for ready for a fight. So now we don't have to risk anything. That was a bit of a hope. Man, that card keeps coming up. That was a bit of a hope that we got there, but we got there. So that's fine. And then we can dump all 3 on a rocket launcher. We have 3 slots, so we can't choose to discard this particle cannon. Not that we would, but now we have this rocket launcher, which we only have 16 damage to do. There is something that's actually really explosive, and it's the only time that I really like reload, is next turn we can pop up and we can do, 2, 4, 6 damage with a reload. That's 10 damage. That doesn't sound that good, honestly. A lot of heroes can do more than 10 damage in a turn. But yeah, you do have a good burst potential once you have all your weapons in the mid game that you can just say F it, shoot, 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 and then the villain falls over. We'll pass. Draw 6. I've got a plan. So we can fix the main scheme and still attack. Energy barrier, energy shield, energy barrier. Salvage, so we can get a weapon back on top of our deck. Probably we're gonna get we'll overkill the berserk and get a battery pack. And then professor. Okay. Goes to 2. Goes to 1. Zola will scheme for 3 in a card, which could cost us, but we'll just go ahead and ready for a fight. We'll discard this, jump up, get attacked. Gamora's ready. So tuna card. Boost on Zola's Mutate. I think just shuffles it back into the deck. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that. So the Zola's Mutates are almost guaranteed to show up, but that's just 2 damage off the toughness. We cannot use Energy Barrier because it happens after. Berserk Mutate attacks us now. We could take 2 damage, which like is totally inconsequential. We could Energy Barrier some of that damage back. I want to keep the Energy Barrier just because if we draw Repurpose, it's pretty good, and Gamora is good at drawing Repurposes. I just want to check if we have any left in the deck. No, we have none. So honestly, Gamora might not hit anything. Are there any? No, there's no events in here, so Gamora just decks us out. So if that's the case, does it hit a breakpoint? It doesn't even hit a break. It hits a breakpoint slightly. But we actually want this to be a 3 health so we can do 2 into 2 and then draw a card. So I'm not going to use Energy Barrier. We'll just take 2. Mind you, that's on the Berserk Mutate. Counter card. Pain inhibitors. Okay, so it's now going to have more health. Attach minion gets +2 and retaliate. Okay. All right. Notably, I don't think a lot of our guns, besides the particle cannon, which is out of juice, has ranged. So at least a rocket launcher technically has range because it's not an attack. But if we want to do overkill damage to this thing, it's going to take us a bit of work. Looking at our hand, well, actually, retaliate does damage back with energy barrier. That's always good fun. We could pay a resource to I've got a plan to clear the main scheme and come back. Also, like we could just do Professor X and jump down. That honestly isn't unreasonable because jumping down is so good for us and the Confuse is really good for us. So I think we will play the Professor. We can salvage to put a card on top of our deck. I think it would be a battery pack. We want to draw a battery pack. So I think we'll do Professor X for 1-2 and we'll just use Ingenuity, I guess. When we play salvage, after we spend it, we can go grab a tech card, put on top of our deck. And with overkill, we can draw it. So I'll just put this battery pack. And Prof X comes into play. We'll just confuse the villain. 3 health. We lose the chump block, but we'll just thwart 2 here. And I think we will still jump down. I don't think there's any more ready for fights in our deck. Okay. We want to draw this battery pack. So how do we do that? I think we attack for 2. So this goes on to 3. We take retaliate, which will energy barrier. And we'll redirect that retaliate damage. Actually, we don't, do we? Because then we don't get overkill. Man. Yeah, we don't get overkill. We want overkill, don't we? I guess we're gonna draw this card anyway. We don't need overkill. We could have overkill. It would be nice, but we don't need it. Let's just do Zola so we can get the overkill damage. So we'll do 1 Zola down to 15. We'll do a good old rocket launcher. So everyone takes 2. The villain takes 2. Berserk Mutate takes 2. It's not an attack, so retaliate's not relevant. And then we'll pistol. So the rocket's pistol does 2 damage. That does 2 damage because it defeats it. We don't take retaliate. But we overkilled, so we draw our battery. Nice. Mind you, Professor X is exhausted. If we attack with Gamora, she will die because of retaliate. I don't think we do that. I think we'll wait for us to cycle our deck. And I think we'll just hop down now. So we'll jump down. We'll exhaust the hidden base, so it gets back into our deck, I guess. Give us a toughness when we jump down to alter ego. Let's play the limited environment clause. That's how I roll this days. Hold on. The environment stuff should be ignored, IMO. The way FFG rolled it out was real messy and kind of makes a mess they don't need to make. Most players play Legacy. You sit down and play. Can you imagine someone being like, let's play limited environment because that's how I roll these days. I remember exactly which aspect cards came out which wave, so I'll restrict us to this specific wave. Just so extra. Yeah, it's like the environment thing seems like a result of what they have to do, but it's obviously not like a holistic decision, right? Like synergy packages, we're just kind of divided randomly based off of age. It definitely is a restricted card pool, but like, I don't know if it's going to be a more interesting card pool necessarily. Like you have to reevaluate everything. And I know that's a big thing you said too. I don't know which cards came out in which pack. So if someone says like, oh, you know, you lose access to these cards, like, I don't know what card came in. I have to double check. It sucks. Did you take a retaliate from basic attacking Zola? I basic attacked the mutate, not Zola. So I hopefully didn't miss it because I attacked this for 2. Then I rocket launchered everyone. Then I pistoled this for 2. And then you don't take that retaliate. So these 2 didn't take retaliate. We only had to take retaliate 1, but we redirected it with the barrier. That's the thing with also, oh, maybe that's what you're saying. Because the energy barrier, when it redirects the damage, which is what we did, it's not an attack. And because it's not an attack, we don't take retaliate off of that. That also might be the thing that you're talking about. All right, before we discard anything, our deck is thin enough that we should use Leo to search for a tech card. We only might have one left. We have a battery pack. That's perfect. So we'll draw it. And then we're just going to start juicing. So let's juice it. We are going to... We have all the battery packs. With all the battery packs, I think we actually don't want to sell our energy cannon. So lo and behold, I'll play energy shield for 0 to trash it for 2. 1, 2. What, we had it ready for a fight? That's a good insurance policy. I think I'll play it as an insurance policy. Gemma will get a resource for a battery pack. You will immediately use it. This is actually, no joke, would be a sick reload turn because we're going to have all these batteries. We'll exhaust it to reload particle cannon. I've got a plan for a second battery pack. I'll exhaust it to reload a particle cannon. Like next turn, if we draw a reload, when we deck out, like we have an absurd amount of damage. I'm going to use the salvage, which allows us to put a tech card on top of our deck. I don't think there's a tech card we want, barring maybe a pistol. But I think we want to actually get through as much as we can to draw a reload because that'll be really fun. So I'm not going to use salvage, but I'll use the salvage to play a ready for a fight. This is just an insurance policy. We don't really need it. Instead of playing this, we could play an energy barrier that's like strictly probably better because we're wasting 2 cards. Yeah, F it. We don't need an insurance policy. We'll just play this energy barrier. It's more damage. Again, if we were in the last scheme, then we would have played it as a, insurance, but we don't need it. Put 3 counters on that. This is exhausted. Did we charge something with this one? I don't think we did. We'll just charge the pistol. No, this is strictly better than pistol. And then we'll just pitch this and try and draw deep. If we miss it, Gamora will get it. All right, this is what you want Rocket to do consistently, is have a massive arsenal of toolbox stuff. Could try to hit off Gamora. We just unfortunately know, how's it going, by the way, is that we know the bottom of the deck doesn't have it. And anytime that you see a card that says discard until you find something, when you deck out, you stop discarding. So next turn we'll count on it, but we knew for a fact Gamora's going to totally whiff. How's it going, by the way? Your way? Deck building just doesn't synergize with the current hero pool. Like, you can't even play Firepower unless it's Bucky or Nick. Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like, I think, okay, so eventually it will. But my guess is the like move or the push to an environment thing happened way after a lot of the cards that were coming out of print, or they're coming to print modernly, were designed. So I think it's going to take a couple year before things start to seem a bit more reasonable, where there's like cards that just don't make sense. Groot, practice plan energy shield. Getting an encounter card, shuffling your deck. But not to complain about environments. I'm just excited to see if people interact with environments. I put up a card there, like a Christmas card, because I want to try and fill the background a bit more, because it's just like a wall behind me, and it fell over at some point probably during the stream. Shout out to that timestamp. All right. 3 more. Give us a reload. Schadenfreude. Doesn't matter. Give us a reload. Salvage. Not a reload. Give us a reload. I've got a plan. Not a reload. Okay. So our deck has 8 events. We have 2 of them in our hand. We can thin our deck and draw more cards. So there's a good chance we'll still be able to find it. This goes to 1. This goes to 2. Zola thinks about things. We have 2 encounter cards. The first one is Concussive Blast. Totally acceptable. It's a bad way to lose the toughness, but who cares? So deal 1 damage to each character. Prof. Gamora. Tough. It's a rude card. Lord of the Rings has a card like this. You have to play around it for so much of the core set. Test subjects. Okay, we've come full circle. Back to the beginning. There's 2 of these in the deck, though, but this is 2 threat. Its text doesn't matter because I think we win this turn. Prof X gets discarded. Let's do all the shuffling and drawing we need to do. Oh, we could have energy barriered. Oh, we can't. This is what's so annoying, is you can't energy barrier away to protect the toughness. Because again, status cards happen first, and then you don't take damage to can't energy barrier. So annoying. Okay. So here, first we'll use Leo. So we can take the tech cards out of our deck. We're just going to get a 0-cost tech card out of the deck. Not you. Repurpose is still really good. We'll get a 0-cost tech card out of deck. There's no other tech card that can give us more damage. Oh no, we shouldn't get the 0-cost. We should get rid of the battery pack. So we'll get the pistol, because that's technically more damage. I do a lot of video tutorials for my job. I'm definitely stealing shout out to the timestamp. I spent a fair bit of time after a stream. I should have a better system. I probably should attach it to my pedal. But anytime that we start a new game or start like a deck breakdown, I have to find a timestamp, which means after the stream is done, I have to spend like, 10, 15 minutes running through the stream quickly to find the right timestamps. I should automate it. I think there's easy ways to do it. Okay, we'll use the battery pack to reload the pistol, just so we have full reload value, which we're not going to draw. The battery pack is empty, so now we can use our alter ego ability to go scavenge it, and we really want to find here a reload. The one time I have something nice to say about reload, draw 2. Repurpose, it's technically fine. I've got a plan. You see a 1 cost rocket card, you're excited. So we didn't find it. We have no more card draw in this hand, so we just have to hope Gamora finds it. We'll flip up. Gamora will attack. Notably, after Gamora attacks or thwarts, that fires before retaliate damage. Pauses for chat to confirm that. I'm like pretty sure that fires after. Somebody posted on Reddit that they printed out and spiral bound the 1.7 rules update. I think I'm going to do that because normally when I have to check this stuff, I have to pull it up here and then scroll through it. And it's just not as intuitive as I want it to be. So I think having it printed out would be better. Oh, hold on, I broke it. It's going to be up on the screen for a second. I'm pretty sure Gamora's text fires, retaliate's the last thing that fires. So she should get her text off. If not, worst case scenario, we could like attach an energy shield to her. I'm showing an energy shield here. It's just behind the broken rules text. I'll fix that. 1 second. Oh my God. Retaliate's the last thing. Okay, cool. Thank you. Is this part of the overlay though? Oh, it is. That's not good. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, we'll just use her. Attack for 2. Discard cards until we find an event. Okay. No. Not a lot of events in here. Ah. There's 2 reloads in the bottom 7? They won't even let us do the cool thing. Man, reload is not a fun card. The cool thing too is these cards are just tech traded. They'd be so much more interesting. I don't think there's any tech traded events in the game, but if you could tech trade an event, it actually interacts with things like Leo, because Leo just said search for a tech card. It'd be kind of sick. All right, no reload. She dies to retaliate. I guess we'll just do normal damage. So cool. So interesting. We'll attack for 2. Villain takes 2. But because we take retaliate damage, we'll redirect it. So villain kind of takes 3. We'll particle cannon. It has ranged. Takes 4. We'll rocket launcher. Takes 2. And then we'll just attack for 2. Cool. We could have done way more damage that turn, mind you. We had repurpose, so we could attack for 5. Then we have repurpose, we could attack for 8. So we had so much more damage that turn. Repurpose is really, really good. Especially when you don't care about your guns anymore. But we had an absurd amount of damage. We probably could have gone from Zola 2 to Zola 3 and defeated all in a single turn. Which, like, maybe that's a thing. I just think when we got through Zola 1, or sorry, Zola 2 for Expert, most of that damage was in, like, consequential damage. Or not consequential damage, but damage in consequence of, like, overkill and rocket launcher and stuff like that. That's this deck. It's cool, but like very much highlights some of the issues with Rocket and Rocket's weird old design, where again, there's nothing that's on tempo. Everything is value over time. All of the cards are super conditional that care about certain specific board states, and it makes it sometimes really, really clumsy. Draw bad, lose. I do think you can play better. Like, I do think prioritizing Leo Fitz was probably worth it. The amount of times that we jump down, this card is so much better because either it's draw 1 or draw 2, and that's great, let alone get you the card you need for the board state you need at, which is, you know, it's nice to get that problem out of the way. Everybody suffers from that problem. But specifically because we don't have flexible cards, having card selection is really, really good. Rocket's cool. Like, I actually kind of like Rocket. I like upgrades. I like moving counters around, like having that extra resource. Shout out to Maria Hill, who does care about counters the same way that this character cares about counters. I guess technically Groot does, but it's a fun playstyle having these extra resources and then a whole economy based off of them. It's like kind of neat. I'm into it. And I would love to see what they do with a modern Rocket, which if like, I'm pretty sure they could print the new Punisher if they ever make a Punisher, and it'd be very similar to this, caring about overkill damage and all this sort of stuff. As much, it would be much edgier, for better or for worse. If you want to find the deck, it is linked in the description. Raton bricoleur, I think is what we call it. Yeah, I think that's the translation. But yeah, that's mostly it. What do you mean by nothing is on tempo? So the idea is, like, say that you play a swinging web kick. Okay, so let's talk about tempo for a second. We can do that. Let me brainstorm a tech event. Tech events would be sick. All right, so If you're asking in general, there's always this conversation that you can spend an hour defining this, right? In card games, there's so this conversation's always so fun. It always comes up. So tempo is the Italian word that means time, right? The idea in this game and most card games is that you have a limited opportunity of things you can do. We have only so many cards, you have only so many actions you can take before you're exhausted, before you've played out your card, right? And there is a board state in which you win, right? Like the villain being at 0 health, you being at full health, you not losing to threat. These are all the win conditions of this game. And so anything that pushes you closer to the win condition or closer away from your loss condition is like something you can measure in this game, right? A lot of times people look at that and think like, okay, a card that costs 3 should do about like 5 damage. And they come up with this math that is like the rate this game expects from you. And then the idea is that the villain every turn will put out some rate of problems, and you on every turn put some rate of solutions. And overall, you are hoping the amount of solution you put out every turn will eventually overwhelm the villain, right? Villain puts out X problem, X worth of problems, you put out Y worth of solutions. You are hoping that your Y worth of solutions will overwhelm the villain either right now immediately or over a long enough period of time, right? This is the idea of tempo, is if you can measure imaginary units of what it takes to close the game out. And in this game, it's actually really easy. Like each damage is worth something, each threat removal is worth something, each status counter is worth something, each encounter card cancel is worth something. That is what we measure when we measure tempo. The idea is that there's some cards that are just tempo loaded. So they give you a lot of Y, mind you, Y is what we need to win versus the villain's X. And they give you a lot of Y now, right? Like swinging web kick from the core set. This is a tempo card. It's a low value card. High tempo, you do 8 damage for 3. That's pretty good in this game. 3 for 8 is just fine enough. There's a lot of heroes that have 3 for 8 with additional attacks or additional restrictions, but 3 for 8 is just kind of baseline okay. If there's a minion with 8 health, this is great. Immediately, if there's a minion for 4 health, you're wasting something here because you're spending extra on some stats you don't need. But 3 for 8 is good, solve problem now, let alone 3 for 8ing the villain's kind of sick. However, if you look at a card like Leo Fitz, this card generally costs you minus Y. Because you spent 3 cards, let Leo, and Leo give you +1 card. That's nice. But Leo is not great on tempo. Leo's good on value. The idea is that the negative Y Leo generates on the turn you put him down will eventually be overcome by the amount of times you can fire Leo. And every time you fire Leo, you go up some Y, right? Like you gain 1.5 worth of value of card. Probably because it's a card, but also because it's a really good card for the board state. That's the idea. There's some cards in this game that are tempo, which are cards that do something amazing now and say, I'm not losing now, but don't give you any value in the future, tempo plays. And then value plays are cards you play now that give you value. Like as a good comparison, we talked about a 3 for 8 being really good. Let's look at Rocket's Pistol, which is a 1 for 6. However, it's a value-based opportunity because it's 1 for 2 + 2 + 2. So you can't just say I'm going to rush to the finish line. It's a small Y now, a small Y next turn, and a small Y on the third turn. This is what Rocket does. Rocket doesn't have swing web kicks. Rocket has a lot of little pistols. Admittedly, this is the biggest tempo play, is Rocket can play Particle Cannon, which this is the most Rocket can do on a single turn is 3 for 4 damage from a single card. That's very bad when we look at 3 for 8s. I guess Rocket's most tempo card is actually I've Got a Plan, but it's so situational because I've Got a Plan is basically a free +1 thwart if it lines up, which it doesn't always do. Thank you for coming for my TED Talk. But that's the idea. A lot of games can be broken down to the core X's versus Y's. All we have to do is generate more Y than the villain's X. The decks that I like usually have some mix of tempo and value, but this deck, besides repurpose, is mostly value. Basic tech event, reload, cost 1, limit once per turn, ready each tech upgrade with a counter on it. Proper wording. Proper wording is my favorite thing when you're like testing your own cards. Like whatever the formatting is, do it correctly. That'd be reasonable. Like basic tech traded events would be kind of sick. Like we have Android support. That'd be so cool. The basic Android card is actually pretty good. Wongo, how's it going? I finally get to catch a stream. How you doing? Happy holidays. We've been streaming tonight for about 3 hours. I don't know if we're gonna do another game. We might just hang out here and talk. So apologies, but I'm glad you can make it. We stream at a really weird schedule. We just had a little talk about tempo value. A good way to learn IMO, taking the time to set up always wins, unless the villain is spamming side schemes and static conditions, then you need to rush. Yeah, I do think, I don't know if I have a strong enough thesis on like what is more good and whether the design of Marvel Champions was weak to one strategy and then over time pushed into another. Specifically, the design of the Civil War villains. When you push them to their next villain side, they cannot take damage, which means full rush doesn't work. So you're always guaranteed that the game is going to be more than one turn, which is a funny sentence, but technically that is true, right? Like the game has to be more than one turn. My guess is the way that I play, I always like building up and having a bit of an engine more than I like pushing damage. And I have no doubt if you watch the replays or the videos that there's a couple turns where the right thing would be not push the most value out of my hand, but just to say, F it, I'm sending 6 damage to the villain, 7 damage to the villain. Next turn, I'll send 7 damage to the villain. And hopefully we win in 3 turns instead of trying like value and match our X and Y over like 7 turns. Like I am guilty of wanting to build more than close the game, 100%. And that's like a lot of characters that are build based, I think, sit better with me. And then when I play aggro, I'm like, oh, I'm going to play Tigra where I spam minions, but then I attack the minions to ready instead of just attacking face. Luckily, Tigra has overkill, so you don't waste too much. But yeah, I am guilty of wanting to play more value. And I think value is way more fun than rush. I think that's actually a big reason why I didn't play aggression solo for a lot. I think aggression is my least played faction outside of pool, of course. Happy holidays. I got kind of inspired to pick this up from your content because it was either this or Arkham Horror, and I found way more playthroughs of this rather than Arkham. Oh yeah, I guess that is true. I know there's a lot of content online where people play through Arkham Horror, and I don't know why it is. It's not the production value, but I've never cared to watch Arkham Horror gameplay, which I don't know why. I probably should. It's really interesting. I want to see how other people play on other difficulties too. But Marvel Champions, like, it's really easy to watch. Like, I think a 20-minute game, a 30-minute self-contained game, as much as my games are a bit longer because of overlays and stuff like that. But I'm glad that you found this game and it's been like sitting well. This to me is like such an easy, casual, fun game to sit down and play if I just have like an hour on an evening. So it's like, I play a lot of games on this thing, that's for sure. I made 3 custom Marvel Champions heroes, but I'm hesitant to release them in the sea of good and bad custom content. It's Darkhawk, Beast, and a really, really popular character that hasn't been made yet. I don't know who that would possibly be. Why? Like, why are you hesitant to release it? I think the best thing you could possibly do if you want to make more cards, like for what it's worth, I think you, like with all due respect, have already messed up. The first thing you should do is make one character and release it so you can get feedback. So then you can use that feedback. So then when you made Darkhawk second, you have good feedback to base that off of. The best thing you can do is show your stuff to people. Admittedly, it needs to be the right people, right? Like if you know the people and you respect their opinion, that's worth a lot more. As much as more people technically is more better, I guess. But just watch out, like designing too many things in a vacuum. I think there's so much to learn from just like showing it to like 2 or 3 people, you know? Yeah, for Christmas, I got the core box, Wasp and Synthezoid Smackdown. And today, because sales, I got Iceman, Jubilee, Silk, Magneto, and Galaxy's Most Wanted. Thank you, Mentor. Yeah, welcome to the community. That's awesome. Play the heck out of the core box. If you want recommendations, play the heck out of the core box. You can leave your stuff that you got all the other stuff unwrapped for a long time. I'd recommend it. We don't get stuff too commonly in this game. So like having that new thing that you can look forward to opening is always nice. But the core box has so much content that don't feel like you need to open stuff to make a cool game. The core box is really, really good. I'd highly recommend just digging into that before you open everything else. Out of everything you got, almost all of it is incredible. Wasp, I'm really bad at. So like if you struggle on Wasp, don't worry. I have a terrible Wasp time, as much as she's very cool. But Iceman, actually I'm ass at Jubilee too. So okay. Iceman is awesome. Silk is tricky but really fun. Magneto's the coolest. Galaxy's Most Wanted. It is the most difficult box they've ever put out. The heroes that come in it and their precons are not particularly good. So if you play the core set and you play campaign or whatever campaign like, and you think, oh, this is great, I can do it. And then you play Galaxy's Most Wanted and it destroys you. That's fine. Everyone gets destroyed by Galaxy's Most Wanted. It is an incredibly difficult box. So just keep that in mind if you're on your journey. But the core set's so good. So enjoy it. I will. I'm just a huge variety guy with every card game I play. No, I get it. I get it. I come from the LCG model. Like if you can't own everything, why not? Money, obviously, depending. But yeah, it is definitely Moorish. I have a good sense of stuff when designing as I've worked on some TCGs before, but I don't know. And I'll release the one I've been hyping. Wasp loves the new +6 attack event. So spicy. The +6 on the basic? Why? I forget what Wasp does, I'll be honest. So much of the mental space has been taken up by Ant-Man being the coolest. I'm just forgetting what Wasp does. I know she like recurs mental cards. I mostly got it because I'm pretty sure it's not being printed anymore and there was 2 left. Yeah, and that's fine. You can find Galaxy's Most Wanted on sale pretty heavily. I was in 401 Games in Toronto recently. They had Green Goblin on heavy sale. They had a couple boxes if you're Canadian or you get cheap. I think it has relatively reasonable American shipping. You can pick that up. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. The game's good. If you can find stuff cheap and that you're going to hold for later. I mean, hold so you can open it, not to resale it. Maybe it's worth grabbing some stuff now. I just kind of hate that idea. I hate the scarcity thing. Savage Strike and her bot mode. Her big mode, maybe? What's Wasp do? Oh, I can't read that text. It's funny they call it big mode. More like small font. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's really good. I read it. Yeah, it seems good. So the damage you can deal as you choose. No, that's sick. 401 DT sold out of Galaxy's Most Wanted, so I had to get it at Meeple Mart. Oh, sick. Yo, you're probably Toronto local to some extent, or maybe not, just a Canadian. Yeah, Meeple Mart has good prices on stuff too. I think 401 had Galaxies for a really, really, really deep sale for a while now. So maybe you just missed it. They might have just moved it out for what's it called? For Boxing Day. You're Toronto local. Okay, sick. I was in Toronto. My family's from Ontario. So I was in Toronto this weekend. Very cool. Yeah. I think that's mostly it for us. We've been out here for a bit. Again, I uploaded a video earlier this week. It was a Tigra Justice game. It has one error in it. It's always going to happen. I hate it. I'm behind on answering emails and what's it called? YouTube comments. So I'm going to go back and answer some comments because we've just been on holidays. So apologies if you've been left on red for a bit. Don't know what other stores have. Oh, in Toronto? What you can do, Wongo, if you don't know, there's a website called Board Game Oracle. Specifically search Board Game Oracle Canada, because when you open it, it defaults to US, but it allows you to search any board game, including expansions, and it will show you a long list of board game websites that have agreed to work with this place, which I think they get a small commission, and it'll show you the stock. It's a nice way to quickly check. It's not like everything, it's not super exhaustive, but almost all the major like board game stores across Canada are attached to that. So just search Board Game Oracle, whatever, and it'll come up. It's really, really useful. I use it a lot of the time. Wasp is designed like a triple changer from the Transformer TCG. Kale took the idea from it. Just Google Springer Transformer TCG. Same as Ant-Man and Angel. I know that people like struggle to sleeve Wasp and Angel and Ant-Man, and they use like bespoke sleeving solutions from the Transformers TCG. So that makes sense. It's going to help with a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Good luck. Don't try not to pay more than you would normally. Would love to see you go through a short campaign like Mojo Mania. I think your content style is perfect. Thank you, Purple. That's very kind. I haven't played Mojo in a while. I think we have played through a Mojo campaign with Iceman on this channel many moons ago before I was super comfortable. I think we did terribly. Maybe we just did terribly at the end. We have long campaign run throughs, that's for sure. But yeah, I need to get back to playing campaign stuff. Maybe that'll be a good stream. On a Sunday, we'll play through all Mojo Mania. I got Hood from Board Game Bliss for cheap. They do have some stuff. Oh yeah, Board Game Bliss also has good sales. If they don't have it and 401 Games has it. Like in Toronto, I checked Board Game Bliss, Meeple Mart, 401. If you can ship from Quebec, Le Valet de Coeur, search Le Valet, levalet.com. They have a back catalog of stuff that doesn't move a lot because people don't check Quebec. Heroes Beacon, 3.5 times 5. Got the hood from, yeah, Board Game Bliss is great. I don't know any board game stores in Canada. Sorry, in Ontario. There's probably some. You can probably find some in Hamilton. Or JJ's sometimes has things. Okay, that's mostly it. Thanks so much for hanging out. Happy holidays, y'all. I'm glad that we got one in before the new year. I'm assuming we won't get another stream in or video before the new year. So happy new year. Hopefully it's a good one. 2026 is to come. We'll be back probably on Sunday next week, either in the morning or the afternoon, or morning or the evening. I'm not 100% sure. If you want to hit subscribe and notify on YouTube, we'll get there. Also, if you're watching this and you want to take a second to leave a like on the video, it really does help in the algorithm. Leave a comment, all that sort of nice stuff. And if you haven't subscribed, if you're considering subscribing to the channel, it really does help. Specifically, once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, which on its own is pretty hype, it allows me to get some money from the ads that YouTube shows you, which I can use to reinvest into nice stuff. So do consider that. It does help a heck of a lot. Happy New Year. Thank you. By the way, got the spin down dice counters from Burger Tokens because of you. They're so good. It's like the most common question on this channel is where these are from, and they're great. I think I'm going to get a couple more in the new year. I don't know if they had any sales over the holidays. They have East Coast has Comic Hunter. They have everything in stock. Oh, sick. Check that out. If you want to ship in from the East Coast, that might not be that bad. That's mostly it. Take care of yourself. Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2026. Thanks so much for hanging out. Check out that Tigra gameplay. Tigra. I'll figure it out. Take care, y'all.